Indianapolis, Houston, and now. Yeah. Black Ink Radio.
Yo. Wagwan. We live? We live like on. What's up? How y'all feeling out there? Y'all good? Happy Monday. What's up, Sage World? What's up, Kev?
What's going on? What's up?
How y'all feeling today?
I'm straight.
Richmond.
Always straight.
I'm a little tired. I'm good.
Bishop Richmond. Hey,
Bishop Richmond.
Bless.
Yes.
That's what's up, man. Well, welcome to Let's Talk About It.
Yes.
We are
Welcome
here.
Back.
Welcome back. It's Monday.
It's Monday.
Yes.
Manifestation Monday.
Yes, Lord. We are here.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into it.
Go ahead, get into it. Let's get into it.
Man, so let's get into it. So, listen, it's rainy outside, but it's a beautiful day. It's it's a good day. A good day to be alive, man. Before we get into it, though, we definitely want to just send a rest in peace. We just lost a good brother, Michael K. Williams, actor extraordinaire, man. It's definitely unfortunate, to hear that, man. And, it's so sad, man. So sad, to just hear stuff like that. I mean, he was young, 54. You know what I mean? You just think about just the legacy and just, the time that people have where they can just still be doing so much. But, God bless his family and those he left behind. And, keep
Most
doing
definitely shout out to him. I was just playing 2K. He on 2K.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he on 2K. I was just playing 2K. I literally just seen him on 2K.
And I just seen the joint, too. We was looking at it in the car. He was working on, last week, I think Sony announced that, they working on a George Foreman biopic.
Wow.
So he was attached to that project.
He was always in something.
He was always in something, yeah.
My favorite was Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
He was Chalky.
Yeah.
Only black nigga that was respected in the all white time like that.
Right. Yeah, that was crazy.
What's the name of that?
Boardwalk Empire.
I didn't see it.
It's
HBO
basically
joint.
when the Italians took over Atlantic City and built Atlantic City up. They this is way back 1914, early, and they had to respect that man.
Wow.
Like he was the only black nigga that was standing with the white, with the Italians or whatever.
I gotta go see
Man,
that.
if y'all don't know who Michael K. Williams is, that's Omar from The Wire. For those who may not know him by his name, because that character was so prominent that people just know him as Omar.
Yeah, he was vicious.
Yeah, he was a hell of a
He
actor.
was a vicious
I just
dog.
know him from When They See Us because I didn't watch The Wire.
Right. He was in that too,
Yeah,
He's
When
always
They See Us.
somebody that
He was always,
That was
yeah.
respected.
I hated him.
Right.
I hated him when they see us. That's how I know he did a good job. Cause I hated him in that job. I wanted to steal him. I swear I
Right.
wanted to. That's how I know he did a good job.
When
Right.
they see us, what's that?
When they see
the joint on
Wait,
Netflix.
Yeah,
You didn't see When They See Us?
Richmo,
the
Central Park Young
Central
Boys
Park 5, the
up
Young
there in
Boys.
New York.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
I'm about to
joint.
say.
Oh,
Yeah.
what part did he play?
He played the pop. He
He
was
played
just
the
that
pop.
pop.
Yeah.
He was
He
a-
was.
Yeah, he was a noodle in that joint.
He was.
Oh, noodle.
Oh, man, Noodle.
He was a noodle, and I said the character he played was a noodle, and he wasn't a noodle, but the character he
He
played.
made his son turn himself into something.
Yeah,
or something.
like
I remember
confessing something he really didn't do, all because he
Yeah.
wanted to keep his job and all that type
It
of
wasn't
shit.
Right.
because of that. It was because
Yes,
of
it
his
was.
fear. No, it's his fear
Yeah,
of what he
whatever.
experienced with them when they set him up. Remember they showed
Yeah.
it back? He had fear because they set him up and he didn't want his son
All
to
I'm
get
saying
it.
is Michael K. Williams plays an amazing job because
Yeah.
whenever you want, he make you want to hit him because you hate him. That's how you know he did a good job.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I still don't trust Blair Underwood.
Underwood?
He
Bro.
always playing a villain or some
Yo.
creep. I still don't trust that nigga.
I promise you.
He
Blair
always playing a
Underwood
creep
is
or some crazy nigga in
what
every
was
movie.
That Tyler Perry joint.
Oh
Oh, my God.
when he was beating his woman.
Yo, he was so cool.
Or in Asunder with Demi,
Yes.
what's her name? Demi. I forgot her name that fast.
Yo,
Demi
my,
Ryan, something like
yo,
that.
my man said, I'ma
You
love
remember
you to
Asunder?
death, and I mean that.
Right.
I was like, oh my God, I got
He
scared.
was always the
He
bad
was
husband.
Always
vicious.
the bad
Always.
one. The only
Not
time,
in
only
Wichita,
time he
not
played,
in Set It
that's
Off.
the only time he played the good
Yeah.
guy.
He
He
That's
was
the,
everybody knight in shining
Right.
he was
armor.
the
That's what
only
I'm
time.
saying,
That was the
like
only
he-
time he played the good guy. He's known for playing the villain. And he does an amazing
I'm
job.
sure if that movie went on, he'd have been a bad guy.
It would have
Right, and then it
something.
found a little twist.
Yeah,
Like he
he-
just got the
he
face
know
like
what, yeah, he
the pretty dude. He seemed trusty,
No,
but
he's
it's like,
gorgeous.
I got
He's
you.
gorgeous. He's
Right.
gorgeous. The
Yeah.
smile was everything.
Lord.
That's how he gets you.
Oh man, shout out to Blair.
But rest in peace, man. Michael K. Williams, man. Most definitely, rest in peace. Nah, I'm just saying, I know you're a good actor when you leave that kind of impression. It's like I don't like you just based off the character you play. That's how you know you did a real good job.
Right.
That's how you know you did an amazing job. When they hate you.
Yeah, there's actors that I really hated in real life.
Because that character they played. That's how you know you did an amazing job, though.
Like, yo, you're a fucking animal.
Right. Oh, that's not even me.
I'm not an animal. I just played one on TV.
Yeah. Like, that's how you know. Like, you did an amazing job where it becomes so believable. That's how you know you did an amazing job.
I forget what the terminology is, what they call those type of actors.
Method actors?
Method actors.
Well, you know what's crazy? The same thing, to go back to Michael K. Williams, that was him. People really thought he was gay for playing Omar.
Right.
He did such an amazing job.
But
he played. They really thought he was gay. He wasn't gay.
He played them gay roles, though, like a lot of times.
Gay. That's what I'm saying. So many people thought he was gay.
I heard he was gay, though.
That nigga ain't gay at all.
But that's what I'm saying. He played those roles like more than once.
I got a whole wife and kids. I ain't gay. He's not just the mom playing a gay role.
Yeah.
And he played it so good that niggas really thought. That's how he was so good at Omar. They really thought he was gay.
I heard he was gay in real life, but
he talked about he said,
that's what I'm saying. Like, see, it's convincing.
He said niggas thought I was gay, but they would never try me because they really thought I was Omar too.
Right.
So they really thought I was gay, but they wouldn't try because they thought I was Omar. And it's like I ain't need I'm Omar. Like you can't mess with me. Right.
How many people know Omar?
Yeah, I don't know. I got an uncle.
Yeah. I know Omar.
I know Omar, but he ain't gay.
Yeah, right. I'm about to say
it. Yeah, I know Omar, but he ain't gay.
Right. Me too. My uncle's not gay, but he's.
But I know a gay dude.
That character. When he came through the projects, everybody ran.
Oh, but I know a gay dude you won't try. He'll knock you out like in a heartbeat. I know that.
That's a Omar.
Yeah, I know that.
That's a Omar.
He's still a man. I know that.
Okay, so that's what you mean. One that's gay and you can't try.
No, you don't. But see, those are the ones that's not talked about. You know what I mean? They're not talked about.
I know somebody that's like that. That nigga, he's openly gay. Everybody knows he's gay, but
it's a lot of them.
He's like, what's up?
But that's
what's
why I feel like we focus a lot on the young boys that is doing the switching, or they say have feminine tendencies, but nobody's looking at the masculine man who's molesting them and portraying to be straight. That's dealing with these children. Nobody's looking at that.
Right.
So that's what's not talked about.
They gotta be sleeping with somebody, and they don't like each other.
Right.
The flamboyant niggas don't like the flamboyant niggas.
Why
so
do you
who
think
you
they
fucking?
Always? But that's why they always go after what they consider to be straight-looking men, because of whoever introduced that to them.
Yeah.
So until we talk about those situations, it's not going anywhere.
They are very. You're right. They're really
not going anywhere.
They're dating straight.
So we don't need to beat them up and ridicule them.
Men, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Right. So the ridiculing them and disrespect them is out of pocket until we deal with the issue of the ones who haven't came out this portraying to be super
straight
in jail. No, I'm joking.
And it's crazy because I got a friend that did a lot of time. It's crazy that one of the attributes to him going to jail, when he said all the things, he said, yo, I never asked nobody for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I never backed down from a fight. I never did any homosexual activities. Like, that had to be one of the things he listed because, believe it or not, niggas doing over a certain amount of time.
They doing it.
You doing it. And it's like, then you come home and they'll come home and not do it again.
But they don't consider that gay. They consider that just jail.
Well,
they don't consider it gay.
Surviving.
They call it bidding.
Right,
but that may be some truth to that.
To what?
To bidding. It may be truth to it. That don't mean you like the act of it.
The truth is if I don't like something, I don't care where I'm at or how long I can go without the other thing. I'm just not.
I agree.
I've been in jail. I was reading books.
Yeah. I get it, but I'm saying some people can't control their sexual desires. You understand what I'm saying? Nah. So I'm just saying some people.
But they try to make it seem as though like if you don't bust a nut, you gonna die. Like nigga, you're gonna survive.
Let me ask you a question.
You may be in pain a little bit if you try, but you're gonna survive.
Right?
But those other people who have underlying issues and trauma that they may not have spoken about. I don't believe it's their first time visiting that situation. Okay. It just be traumas that take place that come back and
might not be their first thought, and now it's the opening to actually do it.
No, I don't eat meat, Rich Mo.
No, because I was just
going to eat meat.
Exactly. If you can survive without it, just because you don't got your other food don't mean you gonna say fuck it, let me eat this meat because that's all that's here. Right. You're gonna stick to who you are.
Right. True.
You know.
Everybody got different willpowers, different strengths. Some people can hold it out.
That's what I was
saying. Some people can't.
Yeah. Some people was curious anyway.
It took me 2 weeks to take a shit.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't trying to do that anymore.
You was backed up, dog.
I mean, this thing's about me.
Nah, I feel it.
What about the people that's actually
I went a whole
in jail,
weekend. I went a whole weekend without eating. You know what I'm saying?
What about that? The people that's raped in jail in there, and then end up just being that way.
But I feel like that's a different story. For me personally, I can't call somebody gay who was molested and raped.
Right. No, but she's saying no. But what she's saying is, can't do that. What about if they continue after?
Oh, and they liked it.
But if they continue, even still, I don't know how I can judge you because that's a psychological thing.
Though. That's the majority of our young
That's a psychological thing.
Because
it is.
Here's the funny
but it's
part.
also too.
Who says that every rapist or molester is the same, right? Mm-hmm. What happens when somebody violates you? Right. And they do it in a sensual manner, and you hate the act, but you enjoy the feeling. You know how confusing that is?
That's very confusing.
And that's painful to the heart.
That's what it's funny that you said that. I was about to say that before you said it. A lot of girls feel guilty enjoying the rape.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, a lot of girls feel guilty because, you know, you're being forced to do something. Right. After a while, your body, you can't help it. You're there.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying? Exactly. You start to enjoy it. It's just like
you start to love it. You start to love your oppressor.
Because who said that all rape is not brutal? Everybody is not. Oh, let him. Yeah. You know what I mean? Some people intentionally.
No, but like I said, it's still a psychological with the men. It's still a psychological. Just like with a little boy who get molested by a woman, he grows to become a whore. It's psychological.
Mm-hmm. Or like a lot of older women.
You got a lot of men who walk around there who are whores, but they won't say it. They're a whore because when they was younger, it got taken from them by a woman. Right. Mm-hmm. So they grow up, and that's what in their mind, that's what they're supposed to do.
Right. But you
so
know what
that way.
You know what that also does, and I found this in women. I can't speak for men. A lot of them end up, when that happens early, they end up separating sex from emotion.
Exactly.
Sex doesn't mean anything to them. Yeah, they can love you, but they can have sex whatever. But
that's the men.
Sex doesn't mean anything to you. I know. I'm saying. I just know women who speaking of it.
Well, that's predominantly in men too, because a lot of men they had a wife at home who they love,
some men don't understand
but will go pop the shorty around the corner and never want to be with her. There's a lot of men who like that too. Like that's like they're dead in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I mean, you know, for us it's different, but also, you got to think about it. You still, even if you're like that, you still can't watch your woman go have sex with somebody else.
Oh hell no.
These people can still, they can watch you, someone they love, have sex with somebody else because it don't mean nothing.
Yeah, I mean exactly. I know that's what like, I've experienced it before.
Yeah, I might want to watch you do that because it don't. Right. That don't mean you connecting with this person.
I've met a female who was like that. To her, sex was just a hobby. Fun. It was something you like want to go work out. Or drinking and turning up. It was just another form of fun and meant nothing to her.
Right. I just had this conversation and was saying that because somebody was looking at it from a different point of view. Was saying, how do the women just go around and let these men, well, you know, their terminology, busting them, keep it moving? I said, I don't think you're looking at it from the flip side. Some women is picking and choosing. They're not looking at it like, oh, he busting me. They looking at it, I'm busting them. They don't care. They detach from the emotion based off of their trauma. Right. They're not present in it.
That's true.
So I
feel like porn stars.
Mr. Alexander, why you don't agree? Exactly. Just text it up. Type
it
again.
And Miss Alexander, what's up, Tasha?
What part?
When I said women be feeling guilty.
She said she don't agree with women feeling guilty.
Sometimes, right?
I'm saying sometimes. I don't say all of it.
Yes, ask her to explain.
Yeah, that's what I just did.
Yeah.
Explain, Miss Tasha.
And there's 3 men in here with all black on, Miss Ashley.
Wow, what happened?
She said, "Who's that in the black? He fine." Because I know I'm fine, but I'm just saying. I don't think she can see me.
She trying to talk about pretty over here.
She talking about sexy over here. I told you we got sexy on the cam today.
She talking about pretty boy Floyd.
There you go.
What's the Floyd? There you go.
Won't he do it?
No, Rich said he know he fine. Goddamn, leave him alone.
Won't he do it?
Yes, Lord.
He didn't.
So I got a question.
Wait, Alexander said I don't agree with the women feeling guilty.
Yeah,
that's what I was just asking.
She
yeah. We waiting on the explanation.
So part of this play, I got a question for y'all.
While we wait, Miss Alexander, and that was some women that he did say some women. But I agree.
But no, my question was, we talked about how women who may have been raped and molested can detach their emotion from sex. But I've met women who have never been molested or raped, but because they wasn't taught that sex was something emotional, they don't have an emotional attachment to it. Mm-hmm. What about that? Because they wasn't taught that sex, unless should be taken seriously, they still see it as something that you just do to pass the time, basically, for pleasure. Right. What about them kind of women or men?
Right.
Because I met those like that. They're not taught by their parents what sex truly is, so they just see it as, oh, you just do it because it feel good, like drinking or smoking.
Right. True.
Okay. Yeah, she said she worked with victims in the Navy.
She said because it's a mental thing to go along with it for it to stop. No, I know some people do that. I'm not saying that. I'm not there when they're getting raped, so I'm not saying when you look like you're enjoying it while it's happening. I'm saying some of them walk away from rape. Man may rape them. They may even, the guy might get caught. They'll never see the nigga again. Not that they want to be with him, but they may feel guilty within themselves that at some point during it, they may have enjoyed it.
A slight point of pleasure.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You
Okay,
get what
so
I'm
I
saying?
wasn't
They feel guilty within themselves.
Right.
So I thought you were okay. I wasn't really speaking in rape as in you said never seen them again. So I get it because you have rape.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that where you fall in love. Yeah, not molestation.
No,
I'm
because
talking about
molestation is a little
rape.
different than rape,
Yeah.
right? So during rape, I don't know about because I never really heard somebody that got raped that said they actually enjoyed it. As far as rape, I'm talking about when a person has been molested. You know, when molested, they come and say, "I have been molested," and of course, rape from this age to this age. So it's been an ongoing situation. So when it's ongoing, it's been in those situations I have heard. You know, I felt bad because, like I said, the act of you think about somebody being molested or raped and they are performing oral sex on them and things that is pleasurable. You understand? Those things is hurtful and painful. To even think about how can you enjoy something that feel good, but you like like I have spoke to a billion people in situations like ridiculous. So that there is horrible in itself, but rape. I never heard nobody
I've
that
spoken
actually
to more than one woman who, in the middle of opening up, like, you know, us being close, really something that they never told anybody, and just feeling kind of feeling guilty. Like she said, they may have been going along with it to get it to stop, but in the middle of it somewhere, found themselves enjoying it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not to say they liked
and
it,
that's
but it's just
no, that's very
their
honest.
body just started to
react.
Exactly.
Okay.
I got a home,
and that makes them feel guilty. Like,
of course.
What does that say about me?
Of course, nothing.
You know
That you're human.
I tell them that
you're
you can't control that.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like if I don't want to, there's times where I don't want to have sex. If a woman is playing with me and on me, even though I don't want to have sex, I still might get hard.
Of course.
And even though I don't, you know what I'm saying? Or sometimes women have cried to me, been crying about something, and I'm hugging them, and then find myself. And I feel fucked up because I was young. I'm just saying, like, somebody trying to...
Heroes on the third day.
Well, in all fairness, she probably smelled good. She probably was soft when you hugged her.
It's just Rich Rose, the mental sodomizer.
Like I said, it was just she smelled good and she was soft, man. No. It happens to us.
But you know, that's
it was
because
somebody
the
that
mind
I
and the body is
liked.
different.
Right.
Okay.
I liked when I was young, and
for
that was the first time being able to embrace them, but they were crying.
Right, I got you.
And I just felt bad, like I wasn't thinking about sex at all.
Right.
I don't know why. He was just like, "Oh, word, this what we doing? No, that's not what we doing. Mind your business."
Mind
your business.
Definitely has a mind of his own.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Women don't believe that, but I swear it's the truth.
Man,
they don't believe that. Your man's penis has a mind.
Oh, I do believe it because I know that the body has 3 brains on a woman and a man, and that's y'all third brain.
But a lot of women don't realize that.
On the female body, we have our brain. Our heart is the brain. And our solar plexus, our reproductive system, is the brain, nervous system. On a man, his testicle is the third brain. That's where the term dickhead came from. Excuse my French. He thinks with his third brain.
She needs some bombs on that, man. She just dropped through. She just needs some.
I got caught up in the conversation. I forgot.
That was some bars right there.
It was.
And I found out that a lot of people didn't know that. But yeah, we have 3 brains.
No, a lot of them don't know that. Like, and I learned that too. Like, that's why you're like perfect. Y'all ever had a female, right? And men probably relate to this. You don't like her. Like, as a person, you can't stand her. Like, you was a girl, you would dog her. But your man piece, like, nigga, listen.
I'm about to dog her.
I'm about to dog her. Like, you don't like her, but nigga, I do. And that's when the separate brain comes from. It's like, just because you don't like her, nigga,
don't mean I
don't like her.
Physicality.
You're absolutely right.
Like, you really does, bro.
I know we've all, as men, probably experienced this, or I don't know, maybe I'm a little out there. But I've had sex with women, and then it's like once you come, it's over. You like,
what's your name?
No, I ain't really looking at your name, but damn, like why'd I do that? Like I'm not even really, you know. Like,
I would like it like
damn,
I think every man experienced that before. I think every man, because he had that moment.
You like the person, you vibing, everything. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like, nah, I forced this.
You just had that moment where you let your
I feel like it's that lust, man.
You let your penis take charge. It was that moment you let penis take charge.
Like you said. Mentally and emotionally, you wouldn't deal with this person, but physically, you would.
Oh yeah, okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. And truly, when you are in love with a person, it's in alignment. Your mind, body, and soul is connected. That's where that emotional relationship. When y'all got
dropping bombs. What's going on here? right.
That's Sage the Scientist.
I get it now.
Minister
I get
Sage.
when all three have to be in line.
They all
and
have
usually
to.
when you're in love, that's when it's a line. You actually talking, you're like, I'm attracted to him on a physical plane, on the intellect, y'all agree with things, and then the heart just connects it.
But that's why men take ownership of a woman his heart's connected to. All three to connect. Like, we know this as homies. We don't care about the chick, nigga. She for the bros. Like whoever
do your
wanna,
thing,
like,
baby. Do
bro,
your
like,
thing.
You encourage him, bro. That joint's fire. Like, nigga, go do that joint. But the minute it's the one you like,
you gotta
nigga,
get that top, bro.
You can't even. If your homeboy tell you she bad, you might say, "What you mean she bad, dog? Wait a minute, hold up."
Right.
Like, don't tell me my shorty bad. Like,
looking at her,
don't look at it like
what is
territorial.
considered bad? Can I ask that? What is considered bad?
That depends on the person. That depends on the person. Every man's
terminology. That's like saying she. Yeah, it's terminology.
It depends on the person.
It's good.
No, I want to mean, what is the term bad in reference to what he just said? Meaning that if it's somebody you're not attached to,
she
you'll
fine.
pass
Her body
around.
crazy.
But if you're not
her body crazy. She had a big butt.
People don't pass around people's bodies.
Yeah, no. We're saying a man will pass on a bad chick if he don't care about. We saying if you got a girl you care about, and you can't even tell me my homie that my wife is bad. Don't look at my wife. That's mine. But you can tell me, shorty, I'm just hitting. It's bad. I don't care.
But what I'm saying is, what makes you connected to the one you said is
well,
bad?
Like I said, it depends.
That's the one he likes.
It depends on
why.
Because
it depends on the man, though.
Every man's connected.
Every man's attracted to different things. Right. For one, a lot of times, and I know this for men. As men, a lot of times we get attached to the woman who reminds us most of our mother.
Right.
That's true.
So a lot of women and mothers may not believe this, and women may not think, but as men, we think about the ones we can bring home to mom. Whether you really, whether we get along with our mother or not, we value that. Can I bring you home to my mother? If I can't bring it to my mother or my auntie or my grandmother, surely you ain't making it past my bedroom. Like, you're not, because I can't bring home to the woman who
women know that. That's exactly why we say, why can't I meet your family?
Right. Because you
wasn't worth it.
And they know they bring you why they can't. Oh, I ain't good enough.
They be like, man, if I bring you around my mother, she going to curse me out.
Right, she going to beat me.
You know what the old African proverb is? They used to tell men? Be careful how you treat women, because your daughters will live their lives and how you treat your wives.
Exactly. I've heard that before. Exactly.
That's because your daughter's going to be like her mother.
Yeah.
I think somebody said that in the rap.
I just told.
I want to say Nas.
That probably was my fault.
I just told. I was speaking to Uncle Craig. I told Uncle Craig the hardest part of me accepting the fact that I'm having a daughter is that now I have to become the man I would want her to marry. That's the hardest part. Yeah. I really got to change up my whole flow now. Like, I got to. As a boy, kind of like, we cooling. I got some time. But my daughter's like, no I got to change my whole mindset before she even get here.
Isn't that amazing, though, how the circle of life actually works? It's crazy. How it comes back.
It's crazy. I'm being responsible for a little girl is hard.
Right. It's hard. She's not even here yet,
Did y'all
and I'm nervous.
watch that episode of Kevin Hart and Will Smith?
Yeah, that joint's crazy. That joint's crazy. I ain't gonna lie, I shed a tear. I'm gonna hold you. I shed a tear.
Everybody go watch that on Red Table Talk. Shout out to Red Table Talk. Will Smith took over the table with him and Kevin Hart, the two brothers from Philly.
Like, they was crying. I cried. That joint's crazy.
But they just talked about what they said. They couldn't, especially Will. He was like, my daughter got me to see a different emotion that I never thought I had. Him and Kevin was just like, my daughter.
It's real.
Now he said, not even my wife can make me feel this emotion. Kevin's like, nobody gets to me. Nobody.
But your daughter?
My daughter.
But see, it's because it's a different standpoint with your son and your daughter, and I get it. Because as your son, it's a difference with your son and your daughter, because your son is not going to try. I wouldn't, like, as a son, you would never try to reach that certain emotion out of your father, because you don't think that way anyway. You're already a boy. So you already naturally don't think that way to try to pull at a certain heartstring of your father. Your daughter, she does naturally. With your wife, it's like, I care about you, I love you, but I know I can find another wife.
That's a horrible shit.
Yeah, but it's the truth, though. Like, we don't work out, I can find another wife. With your daughter, you come from me. Right. So when you pull that certain heartstring, whether I want to or not, I'm going to react. Only two women as a man, really three, but the third one, like I said, is your wife, and that depends. But as a man, only two women can really pull at your heartstrings: your mother and your daughters.
That's facts.
That's your mother and your daughters.
Yeah.
That's the only.
Your grandmother?
Yeah, but it can, but it depends. That depends if you got a relationship with her or not. Because you directly come from your mother is different. Your daughter directly come from you. So that's two different things. That's where that internal connection at. Because with your grandma, you come from her too, but it's a skip. So the only time it really gets it is if the relationship developed over time by you being around her.
Direct connection.
Right. But with your mother, you can hate your mother guts because she's a horrible mother. Because you connected to her, it's like, damn. Even though I don't like her, I can say something about her. That's your mother. Like,
that may be true.
It's just something like, nigga, I don't like you, but I would never see you bad and out. Like, you're my, just like with your daughter.
It brought me back to that scene on James Brown when his mom came in after he made it. Did you see that, John?
Yeah.
That was great.
But it was hard.
Crying.
Yeah.
I was
but he still took care of her because, like, that's my mother.
He didn't tell her that, though, when she left. He told the boy, make sure she's taken care of and she get whatever she
Because that's how it is. Just
because
he
remembered up until 8 and 9 when she left, though, she was there with him every day, playing every day. And that's
that little stuff matters, bro.
That is so relevant in our community today with women, like the detached to our children based off of all that hurt and trauma and pain. Like I hear it, and I've been hearing it more and more. That and they love the children. They birth them, they raise them. When they get around 8, 9, 10, the detached start coming as life just come on, and then they just start disappearing. Like it's hurtful because they really do love the child, but the child truly believes that they don't love them or they did something wrong. And I don't think that most children realize that aside from being a mother, you have that individual, the woman, right? And those are two different people. Two different people, and they don't know how to communicate that to keep the relationship tight. So I just want to give a shout out to the mothers and fathers trying to hold on, right?
Hey, mama.
Well, you two ain't parents yet. Rich Mo is, but for anybody out there viewing, if they can relate, how is parenting for you?
It's wonderful. To me, it's like it's cruise control because my daughter is like, she's amazing. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, it's just hard because like she could barely go to sleep without touching me.
Oh, that's how my daughter was.
You know, if I get up to go to the bathroom, she could be in dead sleep. It's like, say I move away, like in the middle of sleep, she's like reaching.
Don't that make you feel good?
She don't even know she's doing what? Does it?
Do you be irritated at the same time?
Sometimes, but because I know, it's like it don't really bother me. You know, like sometimes I be irritated because she be wanting to sleep on top of me. You know what I'm saying? Like I lay on my side, she be all on my whole side, and it's like, yo, you getting too big for this. You know what I'm saying? But it do feel good because it puts her to sleep. Like I don't care what time of the day, if she lay on me, she going to sleep, and then it's like, you know, she it's a feeling. It's that unconditional love that you feel like you never get from nobody else.
So I want to ask a question, or I want to play a game.
Oh Lord.
I want to say a word to you guys, and even to everybody that's on the live, and get a response back, and we can throw that around. Y'all can throw it back at us in there too. But I'm gonna start with the parenting thing since we're on here, and I'm gonna start with Rich Mo. Fear.
What we doing now? Of something happening to her? Or just that's what I'm supposed to do.
That's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is that's she. I never cared about anything else as much as I care about her ever. So.
I'm sorry. I can't read half.
No, I got you. That? My biggest fear is something happening, like me not protecting her.
Okay, I want to respond to that, but hold on. Somebody is saying I can't read half of the
Ashley NX3_ said, I love my baby. I understand that at every stage I must reanalyze our relationship and understand she's growing up and her needs will change as well as our relationships. Sometimes it's hard to accept that our children are growing up.
Yeah.
That is so true.
It is.
And it's so scary.
I like that.
And it's so scary.
Yes.
So you said your biggest fear as a parent is something happening.
Just something happening to her because it's like I never cared about anything in this world. I took mad risks. I could have lost my life 1,000,000 times, and I go in and out of that like like it was like dancing on a fine line. I'm like, ooh, that was that. I like the thrill, but now it's like I don't want to take risks. I don't want to do certain things. When I'm not with her, like right now, I'm wondering what's happening. When she's in school, it's like, what's going on? The other day, she's allergic to milk. They let her drink chocolate milk. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, damn, I can't be there 24 hours. And I'm like, I just don't want to see nothing happen to her because I know how life could be. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, damn, like, it's just hard having someone else on this earth that I feel responsible for.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, you, Mr. Floyd, since you're pretty, let's get into love.
I had an answer from fear. Now you switched it up with me. Damn.
You get that later, boo. They might ask you that again.
Love. We're gonna come to the daughter.
No, because you don't have one yet.
So love, as far as when it comes to what?
And love.
Ooh. That's love.
Yeah, you don't get time to think about it like I didn't.
No, because I had an answer, but my answer is situational, so I didn't want to say it.
Okay.
So, love, sacrifice.
Nice.
Sacrifice.
Bars. I like, give him a
sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
I feel like love requires sacrifice in every format. Sacrifice of yourself, of your wants, your needs, your likes and dislikes. When you love a person, to love a person doesn't mean they're going to give you everything you want when you want it. To love a person means they're going to give you what you need when you need it.
Right.
Somebody give him the heart emoji.
Yeah, listen. Right? I give him one.
Very.
Yeah, I say sacrifice. The ability to have to, especially for a man, like when it comes, you have to sacrifice your pride, your ego. I feel like the most challenging part for me, and I know this just with my little sisters, and is having to sacrifice my pride and ego to tell him big bro loves you and I always got your back. And that may seem like it's something so simple to say because I truly feel it. I feel it my whole life about them, but it's like to actually show that affection and tell them that I know they need it from me, it's still challenging for me to do.
Why is that hard for men to do, to show affection? Why is it so hard?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe for some men, just because it's just well, I guess it's for some men, it's just how they was raised.
Yeah, some men isn't that way.
Their view on it, because some people like, that's too soft. Don't show no emotion.
Yeah, I mean,
we show no emotion in this dojo.
For me, the only time you did show emotion was with a woman that you want to be with. So being affectionate with my family was weird for me for a very long time. It took me to actually get into a long-term relationship to start to be able to look back and say there's nothing wrong with being affectionate. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't weird. Like, hugging my mom and stuff. Right. Like, we didn't hug a lot and stuff like that. My mother was just, we were just friends. Like, we was cool. She knew I loved her. I loved,
And I think for me, that's my standpoint. I think it comes down to love language too. Everybody's love language is different. My love language is of action. I'm not so much going to tell you I love you, but I'll show you. And I'll show you every day by the things I do. When you, like, and I tell you all the time, like, you have to know what kind of friends you have. I'm not the everyday kind of friend. I never have been. I never will be. Because I like to be by myself. I like to be alone. But I'm the kind of friend, when you need me and you call me, nigga, I will be there. I may not come to every function you got, every party, every turn up, but if you need somebody to talk to, a shoulder to cry, you need some help, and you need a fighter, nigga, I'm there. I'm on my way. Right. But to hang out every day and go turn up, nah, nigga, I catch you next time. Yeah, like, it just ain't me. I'm there where it counts.
Right.
If I wasn't a turn up king, then I'd be the same way.
Yeah, but I ain't a turn up.
I mean, my thing is, if you need me to turn up, I'm gonna come turn up.
If you need me to turn up, I can, but it ain't gonna happen every time.
That's how I am too.
Like
I don't speak to people every day. And they see it weird because we could not speak in a year, and I see a nigga, a nigga call me, and I'd be like, yo, what's up, bro? What's going on?
Like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, like to me, it's like it's the same,
Right.
And they be like, yo, I'm saying you don't hit me up, I'm like, bro, but
I'm straight. What's up?
Nothing changed. We good. Oh, you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Like, what's the
I
problem?
only get that problem from my female friends. My male friends, they don't care. They know how they the same way. Like niggas, we don't have to talk. Homegirls, they talk every day to each other all day.
Yeah.
Ain't no nigga sitting on the phone to talk him with his homeboy. That's a little suspect. I ain't doing that, dog.
I just seen a meme with that dude. They said when you get caught talking on the phone at 4 a.m. and it ain't Jake from State Farm.
Yeah,
and he was sitting on the curb in the snow with his Jordans in the trash bag, and he was in his drawers.
What?
Yo, people crazy, man.
All right, so my word for chase is manifestation.
Oh, man.
Ha, brother Muhammad. Chase Muhammad. Let's go.
Man.
Chase for president.
Chase for president. I'm running the campaign.
Manifestation.
Manifestation. It's manifestation is definitely is mine. It's all about the thought process. It's and just whatever that belief system is, whatever's in your heart, whatever that keeps your heart beating and pulsing at your mind every day is believing at its existence. It's believing and speaking something that's just a thought into it actually happening. And just to tie this into the next hour, we're going to go in a live and we're going to do an interview in the second half. So we're going to shut this down and we're going to go into the next interview and the power of manifestation. That's going to be the topic. So make sure that y'all jump on as we continue the live.
Let me ask you a question. Well, that's all you guys. What do you think the difference in between manifestation and prayer? Because it seems to be a controversy.
Well, can I answer that first?
And excuse me.
I was thinking, can I answer that first?
Because it seems to be controversy in regards to people who say I manifest, and most religious people say you can't manifest nothing. You got to pray about it and let God. So, what do you think the difference is between manifestation and prayer?
I feel like simply put, prayer is asking for, manifestation is asking while doing the work.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely believe manifestation is definitely a thing that we pray, we believe something on. So obviously the idea of you're sending your intention into whatever it is that you want to come existence. So you're praying, you're believing in that into happening. That's my.
Okay.
I really feel like it's just putting things out into the universe, and then just however you plan on doing it. If you feel like you're praying to someone, then you're putting it out there. And if you're manifesting it, you're putting it out there. So either way, the universe is giving you what you want, whether you believe it's God or just the universe. So
Okay.
I feel like it's just repetitiveness will get it to you.
Okay, so why do you think Jesus said prayer without works is dead?
Faith without works.
That was the scripture I was thinking about. I couldn't get it in my mind.
Because you can't just think, you can't just talk about something and think about it and think it's going to come to you.
Right.
God won't even give you something that you're just praying for but not working for. So
that's
I feel
what
like,
I'm saying. So what is the difference between the prayer and the manifestation? That's what I'm getting at. If you're praying to someone, right? You're praying to someone with the intentions for them to complete what you need, or where are you
I
at?
feel like those type of,
you understand what I'm saying?
I feel like those type of prayers don't get answered.
Right. Okay.
I feel like you have to be working towards what you're praying for.
Right.
Okay.
So like you just said, faith. Like, what is faith? First of all, faith is the substance of faith. Faith is the substance of. No, listen. It's the evidence of things unseen and the things not hope for and the evidence of things not seen. So that's basically what it is. It's something that you believe in your heart. It doesn't physically exist on the outer, but it's just something that like I said, that you constantly are just setting your intentions to happen. And once you constantly just believe and put yourself into that, then that's when it's going to manifest, and you're going to, like you said, put it into the universe, and eventually the alignment, which is, you touched on that yesterday. Shout out to you, because man, this sister right here, I just gotta give her flowers real quick. This sister right here, man, it just has so much wisdom and so much great in her, man, and just the word, man, of just just really having the just that power, man, that's just in you, and just that good energy, man, and whatever. I mean, we call it energy, whatever, but it's just that goodness when you just got that person around you that's just like, yo, it's just something about you that I just love about you.
Aww,
and man, and that Sage, man, she's really a powerful person, and we really touched on some things yesterday, and we talked about faith and just life and a lot of different things, man, that of just, like I said, the whole power of manifestation, and that's what inspired today's topic, or for the next half. So yeah, man, that's just a lot of the wisdom, that wisdom. Yeah, man.
I just really feel like no matter what you pray for, if you're sitting in your house, you can't get it by just sitting somewhere.
Right, you can't.
You could pray for $1 million and God can want to give it to you, but how you gonna get it if you ain't outside to receive the blessing? That's why I say you gotta kind of be moving in that direction.
Right.
That's why manifestation,
this work. You have to. I feel like we have the game backwards in the sense of, and I'm gonna say Allahu Alam first, which just means God knows best. I feel like we have it backwards when we think about prayer. We think prayer is, okay, God, I'm starving, give me some food, and He just gonna boom magically appear. Prayer is meant to ask for the ability to get what you want. So God, give me the ability to get some food, and then go out there and ask that God give you to go hunt this damn tiger down and eat its meat or wherever you hunt. You know what I'm saying? So like that's where it's like manifestation coming. I'm manifesting that I'm going to achieve. I'm praying that the work that I'm doing is going to achieve what the $1 million I'm hoping for. Yeah. The $1 million is not going to pop in my lap. I gotta go work and do certain things to get that $1 million. Right. So that's where the manifestation. I'm praying to achieve what I'm looking for. So that's what the show is.
Believe that based off of, because everybody has different belief systems, different religions, different spiritualities, but I truly believe that prayer, manifestation, is nothing more than applying the focus of energy, right? And if we have those energy centers, we just talked about the 3 brains in the body, but if we have those energy centers within the body, right, that same energy, because that's how we operate. We eat food to give us energy, to give us fuel, right? So with that being said, that energy that we need, prayer, is to pray, like you said, faith, things that's unseen, because we know that in the cosmos, in the universe, there are things that are unseen. We don't know them in this physical plane. So prayer is the focus for them to give you the strength to go out there and do the things that you do, to allow those energy centers in you, because God already gave us the tools we need here to build, to create, to grow, everything we need. So that's where we have to align ourselves and know the difference of applying that focus, drawing that energy from the outer world, Sage, so that it's internal for us to go out there and make those things happen.
Can I ask you a question real quick, Sage? Based on what you just said, did you say that prayer is a placebo effect to a degree?
A what?
A placebo effect.
Explain
in a sense, placebo effect meaning give a sick man a sugar pill, tell him his medicine, he'll feel better.
Wait, say it again.
Give a sick man a sugar pill, tell him his medicine, he'll feel better. Everything that we need to achieve the life we want, God gave it to us from the day we was born. Every ounce is stripped, every ounce of wisdom is up to achieve and to access it. So the brain is beyond powerful. There's a study, you can look it up now. There was a woman who wanted the baby so bad and thought she was pregnant so bad that her body started to get bigger. Her breast started to produce milk. She had morning sickness and everything, and got 8 months big on her belly. But there was no baby inside when the ultrasound came.
That is true.
That's how powerful the mind is. That if you believe it enough, your body will create it. So prayer, in a sense, I'm asking, is it a placebo effect? Is prayer a sense of you just saying, thinking God gonna do it for you, so that you can have the faith that I'm gonna go out there, God gonna do it, and then you really go do it yourself, and you thinking God did it, but
all do that all day long.
You thinking God did it, but all God did was just let you believe that I was gonna do it for him. Really, you did it yourself.
Well, see, that's why you tell religious people, if God said, and especially in our religion and how we was raised, I would not change the condition of man until they change it itself, then who's doing the changing? If God bless the child who has his home, who's doing it? Right. Because he already gave us the tools to do so. So the prayer, I think they just not understanding that the prayer is drawing energy from the source to build us that superwoman, superman strength to go out there.
That's all the prayer is.
And build.
Right.
It's applying extreme focus, because the oh my God, applying extreme focus to anything.
Right.
It's powerful in itself.
I got the perfect example for that. A mother who will lift a car to save her child.
Oh, man.
She's praying to God that you give me to lift this car the whole time. You had the strength. You had the strength to lift the car to get to your spouse. That prayer you did, you did that to make yourself believe that God was giving it to you. You already had it.
Right.
No, she's not going to make a little.
That's a real scenario.
She's praying. Everything around
actually,
everything has energy.
She's praying for God to lift that car.
Exactly.
Right, but it really
don't realize she's the one
gave you the strength.
Right.
So it's a placebo effect to a degree.
Right, but to a degree, because that's how we was taught. But if you truly understand the power of wellness and holistic health, let me just be honest. And according to everything that I got into my certifications and how I studied it, when you're praying like the child is on a baby in a rock, you understand that everything, the tree, everything has life in it.
Right.
So you're praying for draw the power from everything in the surround to give you the strength to do what you need to do. You're pulling energy from someone else. It's so powerful that if you pass out, right, and I'm an expert and I didn't pass my CPR, I can take my power and bring you back to life. You get what I'm saying? Depending on the power of the energy in me. That's how powerful we are.
Powerful.
But we don't look at it that way because
and
we're
the
not taught.
the CPR classes makes you believe that these steps are doing it.
But
you're doing it because you believe.
But you believe
you're breathing
your
life
because
into
you're learning
that.
Right. Yeah. And they
because you
that
literally,
technique.
I took CPR classes.
You literally breathe. I did too. You literally breathing fucking carbon monoxide, which is not what we need.
Not good. Right. Which is not what we need.
So how the fuck did that help?
So how is it helping?
Because you have to clear.
How is it helping?
Because what they don't tell you, and this because of some other stuff, is that the energy centers, we have 7 energy centers within the body that are core centers that run each organ of our body. Like this part, you ever heard of the halo? This is why it's the halo, the crown on top of the brain. It's not even connected to the brain. It sits above the brain. That's the spirituality part. The throat is connected to the ears, the eyes, exactly. The heart is different, right? Your stomach is different. Your root, everything is different. It's connected to different organs, to different bodies. Like, for instance, if you trip and hurt your leg, the rest of your body respond. Ah! Yeah. You just started like you didn't even hurt that.
Right.
Why it's all tripping? Connected. It's all connected.
Call it energy points. Some cultures call it chakra points. Right. But it's all the same thing.
Your nervous system.
Your nervous system is all the same thing.
Right.
It's all a flow of energy.
Yeah, because you could hurt yourself, and if you don't see it, you won't feel it.
Mm-hmm. No, listen. Everything. Is
I've hurt myself and didn't feel it until my brain said, "Wait, we're hurt."
Right, but you're not a part of right, and it's some things like your feet is connected to your nerves in your mind. It's connected to your.
You just said something that I always like to make an argument about. You didn't realize you even hurt yourself until you see it, and your brain said that hurt. So do y'all believe that we teach pain?
We teach pain, of course.
Why you think they say when a baby falls, don't say nothing?
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When a baby fall, that's always my argument. When a baby fall, the baby look to his parent.
Don't cry
like, what happened?
Until you look
and
shocked.
until the mama say, "Oh, my baby don't cry," their brain say, "Oh shit, I gotta cry." But we just say, "Man, get up, you fine."
They go.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what they was calling energy. Your energy and your look, they played off of and got back off.
That's why you got some people who can walk on cold. They feet not burning. They walking on cold.
That's what I was about to say.
They can smash their hand.
There's people that can take so much pain because they train their brain that doesn't hurt. Wow. That don't hurt. What's hurt? What's hurt? What's pain? I don't believe in that.
We learn pain.
Once they don't believe in the pain no more, they don't feel it.
Right.
So here's the crazy part.
Once you go to a certain level of pain, it don't even exist no more. That's even hurt. You're tapped out. If you experience so much trauma and hurt, you are detached from your emotion that you are tapped out.
I'm definitely emotionally unavailable.
Well, I got emotional. But I came back. I'm emotionally available.
No, I'm not.
When you go through healing,
I tapped out.
You emotionally come back.
But no, like I said, we teach pain. So in a sense, by agreeing that we teach pain, we can agree and say that we ourselves learn weakness.
I agree.
We learn.
We learn weakness
as a baby, you don't naturally have a weakness. That's why babies are fearless. They don't, in their mind, they're not weak. They have no weakness.
Right.
But can
they
we
don't
touch
learn
on
weakness
that
until we.
But they have to be to learn everything.
But I was about to say, can we touch on that too? Because we are responsible for that too. Because we're responsible. We're taught that because of the fear, and you realize the baby is so helpless out of fear.
Right.
We develop everything because I don't know about anybody else, but when I had my first child, and all of them, I have never experienced a love like that or fear in my life. Love and fear hit me at the same time.
That's why. That's
because they coincide.
That's what happened.
Love and fear coincide. That's yin and yang. It's the same thing.
That's what I was trying to explain earlier. You just hit it on another.
It was devastating.
The unconditional love and then the fear, like all these thoughts go through your head.
Love, fear, and hate, they all coincide.
Because I feel like you do not experience the highs and the lows and all of that of life until you have a child. Until you have a child, you don't experience it. That's when you experience it. Because, that's when it hits you. You like, shit just got real.
Love, fear, and hate.
Love,
fear, and hate. It all coincides.
Because when you think you don't care, man.
Oh, now when it comes to my daughter, I ain't tap out at all. I'm here. I'm here for it all.
What's wrong with that?
No, so we about to take a quick little pause, and we're gonna switch up and get ready for the second segment. So make sure y'all come back on. We about to get in the interview mode, so stay tuned. Come back, please. The topic is about to get back into it. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break, but we appreciate y'all rocking with us. So stay tuned and keep riding.
Yes.
Yeah, so I want to at least say that before that John even.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. We're still live on YouTube though. So.
Yeah.
That's all good. Let me hit you now.
Yeah.
That is so true, man. That love affair hit me. I was done.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first time I ever experienced unconditional love.
I'm at Black Ink. I'm taping, and you falling all in the middle of it.
No.
Oh, you can make something. Yeah.
It's appointment only today.
It's some acres.
They want to go online and make an appointment.
Okay. Well, I have to go. I'll see you when I get back. I'll bring something in. I can't do anything. My cash app don't work. Call your brother. No, you can call him and ask him. Yes, he's not in the room with me right now. No. I'll tell him when they come back in. Love ya. Bye.
My daughter says it like that. She like, bye.
Bye. I get that from them too. The kids. Bye. Bye. Yes, I'm telling you. And I wish people, and that's why I said I'm trying to finish up this course because I think that is extremely powerful for people to learn the difference or the same focus, energy, and prayer and manifestation to help them better yet reach their goal to get to their purpose. Because I think we're so confused based off of what we were taught, especially here in America. And then they don't understand how all the religions say this. Well, they all work because they're applying focus. That's the key to it all. It's the focus of the energy. That's why it works.
Right.
That's the part that they miss. They overlook.
And that's what I was trying to say in the beginning. Like, I really don't feel like there's a difference between the two. I just feel like people say you pray, they say they manifest the same thing. You got to do the same motion. You got to be moving toward the goal. You got to, you know what I'm saying? But it's just, to me, it's the same thing. It's just all on what you feel. Some people say they meditate. It's all, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's all the same.
A different
You're giving out the energy to the universe and just giving it back. That's why I say be careful what you ask for, as far as some people like to put out what they don't want. And when you continue to do that, you end up getting what you don't want.
Because you're still applying focus.
Right. And the universe don't understand not, never.
Right.
All it knows is...
You know why? Because of how the operation is. Because how powerful it is that the intelligence, the thought process that stays within. Once we transfer that verbally out of our mouths, we're held accountable. Right. And I mean, the words have the most important power to anything because that gives us the ability to manifest.
So what about not truly being introspective and asking yourself, are you ready for what you're praying for? Are you truly able to handle what you ask for? I want $1 million, but are you going to blow it? Or are you going to really use it to better your situation? Like, what do you want it for? And is the reason why you want what you're asking for really plausible to a degree? Is it a good thing? Do you want $1 million to better your situation, or just to flaunt and buy a Ferrari? Like, what do you want it for?
Yeah, I think people have to do that because I know why I want to obtain the wealth that I have, because I really want to create some massive changes in the world. I really do. Especially, I just really want to create platforms for people to live a life without trauma. People that has been traumatized, to help them recuperate, to actually live a life free from trauma. And my soul tells me it is.
I think it's possible.
See, I want to get to where I need to be. Well, I'm going to get to where I need to be for the same reasons. I do want to help people.
Right.
But I'm already helping them. So at the end of the day, it's like, you know, if it comes, when it comes, it comes. But at the end of the day, I'm doing it without. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I do want to help. You know, and I want to be. It's a lot of people I want to help. Family members, strangers. You know, I done traveled across the country giving back to the homeless.
I love
people I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Give yourself some love. Yes.
Love, right?
Yes, that's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
That's a lot of love, man.
Right. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, because it makes me feel good.
Right.
My thing is, I don't understand how people could be living and just chilling with people that's in certain situations.
Because they feel like, if they was given the same opportunity, they should take advantage of. You have them people, but everybody's situation is different.
When I went to California and I did it in like Sacramento and San Francisco. You know how many families was homeless outside, and not because the parents had jobs still. They homeless outside with jobs. It's just that some type of thing happened in the area where they lost their houses. Everybody in the area lost their houses. So these kids still go to school. They're homeless. They're living outside under a bridge. But kids still go to school. the parents still work. You understand what I'm saying? And they because we try to give them, and they was like, no, we don't need it. Give the rest. Some of these people need it more than we do. Wow. We just don't have a home. Right. Wow. They're just homeless. That was it. You know what I'm saying? Wow. And people don't understand. Yeah, you have the same. We all have the same opportunities, but we don't necessarily. We don't necessarily do because they don't have the opportunity to have a home.
Right.
You feel me?
Why don't they have the opportunity to have a home?
Because they have enough money to sustain, but not everybody has the money for a down payment or deposit or this. They might have enough money just to sustain where they're at, but they don't have enough money to.
They get enough money for rent, but not for the down payment of the house.
Now, hold on, we're gonna continue this in 2 seconds. Let us introduce our guests.
Yeah, because I can't hear him. I can't hear. We can't hear him. I can hear you a little bit. You might. I think you gotta turn you up. Hold on.
Talk.
Yeah, it's like he real low. You hear him?
I don't hear nothing.
What's up, man? How you feel? Yeah, I can hear you.
Your headphones?
Yeah, I hear him in the headphones.
I don't hear nothing in my headphones.
Yeah, I hear like it's like real low.
Yeah, real low.
Hold on, we just
No, I don't even hear you in my headphones. I don't hear myself.
You don't hear him? You don't hear me?
We hear you.
Y'all hear me?
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Talking to
Hold up, he got something set up.
Talk again.
No. So I don't think my headphones.
Well, he's taking.
Yo, can y'all hear us out there?
You can hear us?
And on the live, like y'all.
On the live, can y'all hear us?
I can hear you.
All right, there you go.
Oh yeah, we hear you.
There you go.
Perfect.
Okay. We couldn't hear you. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna continue the conversation, but first we're gonna let Mr. Cool go ahead and introduce our guest.
All right. So yeah, today's guest, one of my big homies, Uptown legend. My God, Mr. Rasheem Feats, right, man. Give us some love.
Hey,
give him some love. Philly's finest.
Welcome.
What's up, Feats?
Thank you for having me.
Oh, man, it's love, man. It's all love, man. Yes. Good to see you, man. I feel like last time I seen you was like at like one of the wrecks up in Uptown. I want to say that was like when I was in high school. That was like 2004. I'm dating myself. Shit. Yeah, but
yeah,
that was
my first year as a pro.
I'm about to say, yeah. I remember when you came home and everybody was like going crazy. But that's when I'm like, when you, my brother, Keith, Eric, y'all was all doing y'all thing at King. I was a young boy watching y'all. Yeah, I mean, but nah, man, it's definitely great, man, to see what you've accomplished, man, and what you've done, man, and man, honored to have you over here today.
Man, it's definitely been a journey, though. Hey, man, it's been a journey, bro.
I already know, man. So listen,
especially making it out of Philly, that's tough.
Listen, we gonna get into all of that. Trust me.
Yes.
We are here. Yeah, he's definitely a bull, man.
Definitely from Philly.
So yeah, if you can, man.
Congratulations still on all of your success and even making it out of Philadelphia.
Most definitely.
Thank you.
We're gonna go right into give us some insight on that. And we were just speaking, just to give you a little insight on the topic that we were just discussing, even though we were around the place with parenting. Are you a parent?
Yeah.
Okay, so we were discussing the love and fear of parenting, that part, and actually the power of manifestation in prayer, or understanding the difference. What do you think the difference between manifestation and prayer is?
I think manifestation is strictly, picturing something and seeing it through. Like, all right, I want to go to Florida State. I'm gonna get me a scholarship. I'm gonna go to Florida State. I think prayer is to help you stay on track, to keep that manifestation in your mind. Like, I pray that nothing bad happens, everything good happens, and this is what's gonna help me get to what I manifest about. I believe they are definitely separate, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what if you share with us what is your fear as a parent? What do you have, boys or girls?
I got one. I got one girl. I'm a grandfather now, though. So.
Oh man.
Nice. Me too.
Papa, my mom, Papa.
Wow.
No, the only thing I fear about now about my kid is raising my granddaughter in Philly because of what's going on up there. They shooting women, kids like it's nothing. Like, and she live in Germantown. Like I said, I'm scared to death. I want her to move so bad, but I can't tell her enough. If she grown now, got her own family, but she's so Philly. You know, like when I first moved to Miami in 2013, she came with me. It was just me and her. So, you know, I figured when she came back to visit, you know what I mean, she was going to be like, Dad, I want to come back, et cetera, et cetera. But it was the opposite. Like, nah, I don't want to come down here. I'm going to stay up there in Philly. But I just fear that my granddaughter ain't going to get the level of education that she needs, you know. Like, you can't go outside. Like, how you supposed to, like, you know, how you supposed to meet friends or, like, you know, have fun? Like, everything people doing now is in the house. Can't take your kids to the park. You can't do anything. Like, it's scary. It's really scary hours up there. Like, really.
Real.
So, well, okay. So, one of the questions that I actually have for you, I think you pretty much answered it, was how concerned are you about the future of us as a people, the people that look like us?
Yeah, you know what? That's a hard topic because I don't really get into, like, this is, like, really the longest I ever been home. So I'm really seeing this, like, firsthand. Like, normally I'm away, so I just see it on the news or whatever, but I don't really get to watch the news. I don't watch the news overseas, I ain't gonna lie to you, but if it come across the timeline or something, I might look at it. But, I don't know. I think it's becoming I think we get, like, a 1% change, like a 1 or 2%. It ain't that big of a change now, but you know, it's 1%, 2%. I think the things that's going on now in certain states is effective, but it's really, I don't think it's really going to, you know, translate to every other state for a long time. Like, we got a long way to go.
Yeah. Okay.
So can you hear? Wait, what happened?
No, we good.
Okay. So my next question was, what do you think our problem is? We lost sound?
Our problem as far as...
Our problem. For instance, like what's going on in the city of Brotherly Love, our city. We're on this panel, you know, we're from Philly as well, besides, you know, Richmond. But what do you think our problem is?
Well, witnessing it firsthand, I think it's the younger crowd. It's the young kids, man. They don't got no guidance. Like, they hating on the next young kid that's doing something. Like, they ain't no money. Like, there ain't no drugs to sell. Really ain't no drugs to sell for the kids that's selling dope. Like, it's like, there's nothing to do. It's really nothing to do. Our problem is there's not enough people that's willing to, you know, take their kids underneath their wing and talk to them and tell them, like, yo, this ain't the route to go. It ain't no after school centers. It ain't no boys, like the Boys and Girls Club and all that was open when we was growing up, Powell and everything. That's not open anymore. Like, it's really nowhere for them to go but the street. So it's like, you can't tell them to get out the street where the only thing he got is the street.
Right.
And we don't really have enough people, you know, advocating for that right now. I think that's the problem. Like, it's not enough. And then again, when you try to talk to the young kids, like the older guys that used to run, you know, neighborhood, when they come back, oh, old head, this ain't that no more. Old head, you old. I run this now. Like, you know, they get real disrespectful.
Right.
So it's like, you really can't really say nothing to them because they carrying guns at 14, 15.
Right.
You don't know if you're going to get a handshake or you're going to get shot.
That's facts, man. Hey, if I could ask you a quick question, like, just if you could give the people just like a little background just on yourself, you know what I'm saying, just where you came up and just like what were some of your disciplines that helped you transition from where you are now, you know, to making it out of Philly?
My old head, my coach, Eric Mundy. He took us under his wing like when I was like 13.
Shout out to Coach Eric.
Right.
That was my coach too.
Yeah,
West Oakland Wildcats. Let's go.
Yeah, so I was like 13. You know, I was playing both sports.
Basketball.
I was playing both sports. And he just like he was top dog. Like up where I'm at, uptown, he was top dog. Like everybody knew him. He was top dog. But it was just something about him and me. He was like, yo, like, I don't want to see you on no corners. I don't want to see you doing this. Like, he just always was in my ear. Like, this, like, you know, he was my biggest critic. Like, you know, you need to get better. You need to do this. You need to do that. Like, he just always was in my ear. Like, he scared me straight, honestly. He scared me straight. Because, he was like my pop. Like, he raised me. He was like my dad. So he scared me straight. Like, like he was allowed back then. He was allowed to put his hands on us and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Coach Eric was vicious.
Yeah, so at the game, he'll talk to you crazy. He don't care if whoever in the stand. He ain't care. All he cared about was his kids that was out there playing for him, and like, I guess he saw like how much I loved doing what I was doing, whether it was football or basketball. And I think his way of pushing me was that super tough love. You know, like, see, you can really like do something with this. Like, I don't need you out here on the corners. If I come home at night and I see you out there on Forest Ave, we gonna have a problem. Like, you know, I'm gonna call your mom, make sure you're in the house. Like, he just was on my bumper. So I owe everything to him. Like, because out of everybody I grew up with, 3 played college ball, and everybody else just, you know, 4 or 5 kids, you know, going through the little trials and tribulations of being, you know, a Philadelphia boy. You know,
Philadelphia boy.
It's a ball, man. Listen.
We got the boy and the Johns up there.
No, that's real.
So what were some of the pros and cons of playing across seas?
Pros? Tax-free money.
Hey, amen to that.
That part, right?
Traveling the world.
59
different
countries,
cultures,
huh?
experience different. 60 now. I just came back from
Oh, 60, damn. Come on, man. Where the bombs at? Listen.
Yeah, but this seeing different things, cultures, seeing how, like, different, like, you know, one thing I learned about overseas, they really big on family. Like, you know how, like, so prime example, we at home, hey, Mom, can you watch my kid while I go out, or Aunt, can I pay you? They don't do none of that. Like, it's like every house is like a triplex. So it's like mom and dad upstairs, brothers and sisters on the second floor. Bottom floor is like, you know, the living area. You cannot move out the house until you get married.
Until you get married. That's tradition.
And then until you get married. And then once you're married, while you're working, the grandparents automatically take the kids. It's no, oh, can you do this? It's automatic. It's like, you know, it's nothing. Like, so we used to go away. Literally, we have a game. Say we'd go from Jordan to Dubai, a 2-hour flight. We'd be going 2 days. We come back to the airport. My teammates' whole family there with flowers and cakes and cookies. I'm like, well, it's only going 48 hours. But you know what I'm saying? I come home to Philly. I gotta wait an hour for somebody to come pick me up.
Somebody come grab you. Why?
And if you would have came home from jail, you would have been.
Bruh.
You would have had a whole party.
Listen,
man.
Wow.
That's crazy, man.
That's beautiful.
Well, yeah, I learned one language overseas. That's because I was playing for a country, so I had learned their language. But pros and cons, man. Like, we work 2 hours a day. They make a hell of a lot of money. You got 22 hours to do whatever you want to do. You know, so I mean, I swear, I promise you, if it was a Walmart, a Target, and maybe a cheesesteak spot, I would stay overseas. I would never came home.
You know what? Wait, say that again. If it was,
I'm dead serious.
If it was a Walmart, a Target, and cheesesteak.
Or Max's or Ishkabibbles or something. If it was that over there, I would.
Shout out Ishkabibbles. That's my spot right there.
And chicken cheese sticks is the best.
And cheese fries is dangerous.
Yo, listen, and the gremlin, you can't get without.
I never liked the gremlin.
You ain't like the gremlin?
I never liked the gremlin.
Yo,
I never liked the gremlin.
Yo, gremlins is alright.
I never liked them. I never did.
I mean, they is like real sweet though.
Yeah, I'm not a big sweet person.
Nah, man.
So are you home for good?
Nah. So I never finished my degree. So when COVID started, they sent us home. I was talking to my folks. They was like, you might as well go back to school. So now I'm in school right now, online school, finishing my degree in communications. Because when it's all said and done, I'm gonna go into broadcasting.
That's
nice.
My guy.
Yeah.
That's what's up right there.
This is a skill development program called SFTBB.
Okay.
Started from the bottom basketball, where I'm, you know, developing kids up into the basketball game. I'm not coaching. I'm just teaching them skills, you know, on and off the court, especially like that, on and off the court. So I'm basically mentoring, but I'm also teaching them the aspects of basketball.
Nice.
Yeah, man, that's dope, man.
But I got one more year for him because I was gonna retire when COVID happened, but I got one more year for him.
Hey, listen, buckets, man. Where you know where you playing yet?
it's either I'm gonna go back to Russia or somewhere back in the Middle East where it all started, and then that's it. Hang them up.
Dang, one more, man.
Like I said, I don't have any obligations. I don't have any little babies. Right. I don't have nothing. It's just me.
It's just you.
So
smart man.
So let me ask you a question: that do you feel a sense of obligation to help our youth, or
help
nurture them? Yeah, to nurture them.
What, the kids?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel it's a big obligation because I'm doing the same thing that somebody done to me.
Right.
You know, like I tell kids all the time, like, listen, you can't be a gangster and play basketball at the same time. You gotta pick one or the other, and the other one ain't gonna work out too well for you. You might end up going to school for free. You know, whatever work out, you might end up making money playing this game. So it's either you want to be out here or you want to be here, but you gotta make the choice. But like I said, somebody did it to me, so I feel like it's only right for me to give it back to somebody else. I show kids all the time, like, yeah, I was in the NBA, I got cut and all that, but look what I got. What I would have got if I was working, you know, somewhere that I had to work because of the mistakes I made.
Mm-hmm.
But I chose to stay in school. I chose to continue with the sports, and I'm living just fine.
Right.
I'm living just fine.
Facts, man.
So do you honestly believe, or I should say, do you really, how can I put this, this is pertaining to our city. It's pertaining to us as a whole, but in particular, we're more concerned with the city of Philadelphia because we all from Philadelphia. And the cries that we hear when we come home, I had children come and stay the summer with me because they said they cannot play outside. There's nowhere for them to play without shootings taking place. Do you believe that there's hope for those children that's out there? Do you believe there's something that can be done? Honestly.
I feel like it's something that can be done. We got to clean the streets up, and the police officers that's working, most of them is jokes.
Facts.
Like most of them is jokes. Like, yeah, like they don't take into consideration what they're actually supposed to be protected.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, so like if you go into the playground, if you got a cop that's patrolling the area that's protecting the playground, you're not active on the playground. You're not going up there. You're not saying like, oh, this is what, all right, you know, like, let me make sure that back fence is not being open or whatever the case may be. Like, I think like a lot of the cops up there is like in payroll or like, you know, they scared themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like they scared themselves.
Right.
So I believe they need to hire. I believe they need to hire more cops though. We need to hire more cops though. It's not enough. It's not enough because all gun. Like, I was home the last 3 weeks.
On payroll
I was
from
in
the
the
kids? They on payroll from the kids? The children have them on payroll?
From the street.
The streets.
From the streets.
Yeah,
You'd
the
be
streets,
surprised.
man. Like,
Oh,
cats
wow.
is,
Yeah, most definitely. But that
Like
been
you
a
hear-
thing since back in the day.
like, especially like when you hear about like the top drug dealer dudes where, yeah, we got cops too, and a lot of them just be working within the organization or at least be like leaking information, you know, back to like if something's about to go down. So yeah, it's vicious out here, man, because at the end of the day, I definitely feel, man, it all revolves around that money.
You know, what I'm trying to figure out is where is, and don't nobody think I'm a little crazy for asking this question, where is the streets? Because with all the gentrification that's going on, right, and all the homes, like what is considered the streets? Because I mean, I'm just confused. They tore down a lot of the projects. They rebuilt them up. Where's the streets? Like, where are they hanging? And like, where's the streets?
Well, that's true. When I was younger,
As soon as you leave out your front door.
Yeah, but where are they going to consult with this mess? I mean, they're just not. Where? I mean, is it a playground or?
I mean, I'm not a.
Yeah.
What you mean by
I'm not
that?
a street
Who the
person.
cops or
I'm not a street person, but a lot of the places they go to are, you know, abandoned or like apartments that they got that they hold. They, you know, they stuff in and do their dirt or they. But a lot of it is like it's neighborhood beefs.
Mm-hmm.
So like 72nd and Ogon can be beefing with 74th. It's neighborhood beefs.
Yep.
So you know, it just goes in a circle.
Like,
The
yo,
streets, as soon as you leave your front door, as soon as you go outside your door, you outside. You know, kids, they shooting people in their cars outside their front doors when they
Right.
step. So the streets, as soon as you go out that front door, You never know if you're gonna make it back.
For real, like that's facts. Like one time, because I've been living in Cali for the last 10 years, and I was this is before I got my car, right? And this dude, I was on the bus stop. I never forget this. This dude, I guess he had just got out of jail. I want to say about 2 months prior. He said, but he was an ex-blood, and he was like he was just getting out. He was trying to get back on his feet. He just had a daughter, and he was just trying to do his thing. So I was running for the bus, and I just was like, "Yo," I'm like, "Yo, did we just miss that, John?" And he was like, "Yeah." And out of nowhere, he was like, "You from Philly or DC?" So I'm just like, I just looked at him like, "All right." And then he was just like, "Nah, I could tell." He's like, "Cause I was about to ask you where you from," and like he basically broke it down. Was like, "Yeah, man, like where we at right now this is a dangerous zone. So it's like we on neutral ground right now, but anything is liable to happen." And he was like, "Cause 134th is beefing with this one, and this one is that one." You thinking like Cali, you're like, that's a beautiful place. Like, how the hell y'all beefing? And it's like, y'all got good weather, it's palm trees out here, y'all got grass. Like, Compton is a beautiful place, but the mentality, it's the mentality. I feel like that's really also too, of course, when you step outside your crib, of course, the concrete, that's the street, but a lot of times I feel like it's a mentality thing, and I feel like that mentality of just what people do, they just continue to just do that learned behavior and just keeping up certain things to just, keeping on certain actions and doing certain things. And it's just like the area could be gentrified all it wants to, but at the end of the day, it's just like if you still continue to carry on that mindset and that mentality, then it's just that street is just always going to be there. But it just threw me because it's like, damn, it's like, okay, this is wild.
Read that.
So we just got something here. Also, a lot of these young kids' streets are in their home. A lot has to do with their upbringing and not being monitored by their parents' homes. Yep, exactly. No parents in the household. No two parents in the household. Exactly. It's a mentality thing and learned behavior. So,
but check this out though. But put that in perspective. A lot of these parents are single parents. So if they're working 12 hours a day. The kid is, he on his own for 12 to 14 hours till the mom
they
come
raising
home.
himself.
So whatever he learning on his own. He raising himself.
Yeah.
So it's really a no-win situation in that.
That's so. It's strange that you say that because just doing that made me think about our childhood and how we was raised, and a lot of stuff is put on, single parents. I mean, I have been one, yeah, I didn't go through that with my boys. Thank God. But I'm just thinking about, because I'm thinking about, a cousin of mine who actually was in Philly streets like that heavy. He got killed a few years ago in JPM heavy. But I'm thinking of all the people he killed and all the stuff. He's dead now, so I can speak on it. But all the stuff he had done, and my aunt, and this is, my mom's sister. And he was raised in a 2-parent home. And now I'm thinking about it, I just never got like, why was you just attracted to, his mother, they wasn't on drugs. His pop was an actual cop. I'm thinking, how you shooting up the street and like this, they put him out and go, but that was what he was attracted to.
Right. Dang, it's that mentality.
And I just don't understand how some people just look at it and be like, this is just what I want to be, a gangster.
I mean, sometimes you are joining stuff like that because with
he was from West Oakland.
With me,
wow.
I had both my parents, you know what I'm saying? But when I used to come outside and go to school, I saw something different. And I was drawn to that. And, my grandmother used to be mad because one of the biggest drug dealers in my area, for some reason, he felt the want to teach me shit. So I'd be outside playing, he'd be like, come here, and I come over and he'd just start talking. And then, like, one night he came, he shot up the whole park. Everybody had to run upstairs. So then I'm coming up the hill, I'm young. He was like, yo, I did that last night because, when you saw homeboy yelling at me, he said, I can't have other people thinking they could do shit like that. So he was instilling a whole nother type of knowledge into me that drew me toward the streets. So even though my mother was a nurse, and my father was one of the biggest drug dealers in my area, but he never let me see that. But this other nigga was terrorizing my neighborhood, but then he was explaining to me why. So it gave me another perspective, which drew me toward that life and made me.
When you was like, damn, so you yell at me, I'm gonna shoot up the street.
Right.
Now I'm saying not necessarily that, but I ain't gonna let nobody play me because the rest of the streets gonna feel like they can play me.
I think
is that pride?
It's
opposed to
pride.
actually having a conversation saying I don't appreciate
it's
you.
not really pride. It's protect. It's protection because like you said, you see niggas get raped in jail, right? And then it could continue to happen. What he's doing is eliminating the continuation. You try it, I stop you, no one else is gonna try it.
Do it right.
Or if I talk to you in private and me and you have an understanding, the next day niggas gonna be like, wait, this nigga punched Rich in his face and now they
laughing, cool, yeah.
Yeah, like Rich ain't handle that. Rich soft.
No, I get it. It's just that the risk that everybody else had to take of being shot.
That's their mentality though. But I think it comes down also to raising. Cause I speak on my behalf, you know. I've seen things, I had opportunity to do things. But my mindset was, I'm more scared of my mother than I'm scared of y'all niggas. Cause I had OGs on the block who try to have me do certain things. It's like, bruh, I would rather get beat up by you every day. Cause they would beat me up if I didn't do it. Than to come home and fight that crazy lady. Like, I'm way more scared of my mother. I'm like, if I do this now, if I do this and I go to jail, my mother going to kill me. So it's like I had way more fear of my mother than I did of any other of the OGs on my block. So I had the chance to sell drugs, to do all kind of stuff. But it's like, I'm too scared of my mother. So I'm going to let you beat me up. Cause you grown, I can't beat you. But that's okay, because I'm not fighting my mother. I'm not taking that major L.
For me, it was kind of like what he said, though. My mother was a nurse. She was gone 12 hours a day. So I didn't have nobody to say, you know what I'm saying?
Right. No, that's real. We just had, that she's not having it said, the mind of the youth is very easily influenced. When we are young, we are so teachable and impressionable. We always want to be with the cool crew because being different and unique is laughed at.
It is.
Yeah, that's very true. It is. That's very true.
One of the most valuable things today that I've learned that Rashid said was what he experienced overseas about the family showing up for one another, and then just, you know, how he described the parents on this floor, the children on this floor, and they don't even let their children move out to their marriage to actually enforce that foundation of family. You understand what I'm saying? If you keep that going on, I mean, they showing up after 2 hours.
So let me ask this question. Why do y'all think it's only the black family that is so much against each other? Because we're the only race of people.
Oh, man.
Like, so when you turn 18, you got to pay bills. Like, 18 is still a child. You're still a teenager. Like, you're still a kid.
Because the foundation.
Like, we're the only ones who do that to ourselves.
Our foundation
I feel like that's a big mistake a lot of our people make. They feel like because they had to be strong,
you gotta be strong.
They want you to be as strong as they are.
Right.
When other races don't do that. I was strong, so you don't have to be. Now I want you to be smart.
Right.
I don't want you to be strong. I want you to be smart.
But that's one of
Whereas we try to make our kids strong so they can be like us, but they ain't grow up in the same way we did.
Right.
So you can't try to push them to the same limits. You don't want to give them no money, make them work for it and do all of this stuff. You should be teaching them how to manage the money versus making them struggle to get the money.
Right.
Because once they get it, they might not know what the hell to do
with
it.
I feel like it's a balance. I feel like you have to make them earn it, not work for it, but earn it. Yes. It's a difference between work for it and earn it. You have to make them earn it. At the same token, teach them how to manage it and what to do. Cause a lot of us, even our parents didn't have, money intelligence, financial intelligence. They didn't possess it.
That's fine.
Our parents living check by check.
Right. And that's the thing. I was going to ask you too, Feats, like, as far as just like the cultural difference, as far as like, have you experienced like different things, like when it comes to like terms of like money, of just like how other cultures, like how they do things as far as like with building like wealth and things like that, like your other teammates, as far as like with their family?
Everything goes to the same pot.
Exactly.
Everything goes to the same pot. My mother's home, their mother's home is their home. Like it's hard. It's really hard to explain because, like, as a youth, like, so like, all right, so on every pro team we got like 2 or 3 juniors that come up, whatever. The money that they make, they got to give it to their parents. So the parents hold the money until they're old enough, and then they give the money back to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they give them a little money to go hang out, do whatever, eat with your friends. But the money that they make, the parents take the money and hold the money. You know, they got bank accounts early. They taught how to, open up an account and all that at a young age. to where as though it's sad to say, but our situation, you get your mom and them some money to hold.
You ain't getting that back. You
ain't
never gonna see that again.
Not me.
For real.
But I agree.
So
you best believe that. You best believe that shit coming short. I gave you $3,000. Why I got $28.50?
That's if you get it back. I had to pay these bills. Did you see the light you use?
Who you think raised you? You think this was free?
Nigga, as a black family, you got credit at 2 years old. Your light bill in your name. She got a credit card in your name. And by the time you get grown, your credit messed up.
Overseas, they don't go over credit. They don't do credit scores.
I learned about that.
I didn't know that.
They don't do credit scores.
I believe it, but I didn't know
like
that. It's crazy.
It's like a 2%, 3% ratio of divorces over there. Like they don't be divorced.
Well, so what
it's like a 2-3%.
So what do they do? What do they base their loans off if it's not credit?
Huh?
He said, what do they base their loans off of if it's not credit?
If it's not credit, what they base their loans
off?
Job.
Oh,
your income. Oh, okay.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
That's dope.
Income.
That's
shout out to overseas.
Shout out to them.
How they do it is so they look at your job and like they see how much you make per year. So they base how much you make per year off of how much they approve you for a credit card for.
Right, that's what Gabby was telling me about Germany. How they give the woman, you have a baby, she get 2 years off of work, paid income.
Yeah, even like Dubai.
Like, even send them back. Like, wait.
And the man get off a certain period of time too, paid income.
What in Dubai?
Crazy. Yeah, I do
Dubai. In Dubai, if you get married, when you get married, the king he pay off all your debts. He pay off all your debts when you get married. So you come into a marriage debt free. Give you a house, or they call it a flat or a chalet, but they give you a house and a car.
I'm moving
to
Dubai.
You start your marriage off.
Moving to Dubai.
All right.
Wait. So that's every Dubai citizen?
Every citizen.
I'm moving to Dubai.
Dubai is not.
Listen,
the United Emirates is not really. It's not a whole lot of Emiratis there. Foreigners there than it is Emiratis.
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't like you looking like damn like 1 million people. Nah. It ain't that many people there.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody else is foreigners.
Right.
That's probably like one whole, just really literally one family that just sprouting.
Probably.
You know, it could be like that.
Yeah, it really
could.
Really could. Let me ask you a question, bro, because that's what I want to know. You've been to 60 different countries. What are we treated like in the countries you've been to? How are we treated?
You hear the question, bro?
Yeah. You thinking about it?
I don't think he hear you.
You got the audio? Somebody just asked a question online too.
Yeah, hold up. I see him moving. Let me see. You lost him.
Nah, he's still there.
No, he's still there.
Yo.
You lost audio?
Yeah, he I don't know, that you or that's us?
I think that might be him.
Yeah, it might be him.
What was the question?
Can y'all hear us?
You know, he like he talking, but I can't hear him.
It look like
he talking, but we can't hear him.
We can't hear you, bro.
Yeah. Figure out. I say, yo, I learned that recently traveling to Dubai, and if the husband dies, the wife owes nothing.
And she keeps
absolutely, no debt, and it's hers, and she also keeps the property for the family. Yeah, I heard something like that because a lot of I had some family members and homies that was doing a lot of contracting work over in Kuwait, and they were saying that some of them that moved to Dubai basically. A lot of their customs are like that, and
I don't know what's up. What happened?
That's crazy.
Can y'all hear him?
Shout out to Uncle MJ. We love you back, Uncle MJ.
Yeah, love you, bro.
Uncle MJ.
Uncle Juicy Lips.
Can we get Rashid back?
Can y'all hear us or can y'all can't hear him?
They said they can hear us.
If you can hear us, let us know.
They said they can hear us.
Damn. You can hear us?
Yeah, that was my next question.
You want to get Sheed back on?
Yeah, I'm gonna see. Because he's still there.
Well, hold on. I guess they can hear she, because somebody asked she the question. If you're an athlete, does the treatment change? Because he was talking. Yeah, so I guess they can hear she, but we can't.
We can't.
She, we can't hear you.
That's weird. Did that joint die? That Bluetooth joint?
It's still blinking. But if it did, this would jump back on.
Okay.
Let me see. Is it,
so do we need to disconnect everything?
Let's see something real quick. If that
Well, can she type yes if he can hear us?
Let us know if you can hear us.
Yeah, because we can't hear you.
No, I don't think you can do the text.
Hold on real quick. I'm going to try to unpair 1 second.
Hold on 1 second, y'all.
All right, so that's...
I don't think it's the Bluetooth. It's still there. It shouldn't be that.
Let me see. Can I just see there was... Yo.
Yo.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. I'm sorry, we lost audio.
Yeah, we lost
It's clear now.
Okay, Kevin had a question for you. Go ahead, Kevin.
Oh,
Yeah, I was saying, bro, maybe you might have heard before the cutout, I don't know, but I was saying, you've been to 60 countries, so how are we treated over there? As far as black folks, the black man, like, how are we treated in those countries you've been to?
No, that's what I was saying. Like, as an athlete, like I said, we treated just fine. Like, I haven't experienced any racism. And, like, along with the, like, teachers I've met, contractors that work in the Army, whatever, we treated just fine. Like, it's not what TV makes it seem. Like, you know, people are polite. That's what I'm saying. Overseas is very polite. They're very polite people. Yeah, black man, white man, Chinese man, you know, German man, Taliban, whatever. They all treated equal.
I've heard it because I've met a lot of people from overseas, and they talk about, they're like, oh, overseas, there's no racism. We don't care if you're black, white. I'm like, it's hard to believe, but I heard it so many times. I always wondered, is that really true?
So is it fair to say racism is made in America?
Only in America.
Yes, that's very fair to say.
England too. England too. Damn.
That's very fair.
Because they come from England. They come from England. That's originated.
Made in America, huh?
America, England.
Bro, like, listen, I can definitely, because I see somebody else ask down there. Ashley asked if it's if you're not an athlete, that the treatment change. I can speak for myself. Just from traveling around the world and going, I've definitely experienced where a lot of other cultures, they really, like, just as a, because I don't like to call, like, you know, black, but more so just like melanated people, like, we really have been, like, we looked at it as like, yo, like, y'all are like really like special people, y'all are powerful, and a lot of times we don't realize that, and a lot of times you know, just with black men and just being American, like, people just are like really like low key, like, kind of worship the ground you walk on. So being an athlete or being an entertainer, or just somebody that's like of importance, it's like, man, they really look at you like, yo, you really that ball, like, or you really popping. What's that? That's you?
True story.
Yeah.
True story. I was in where was that? I was in where was we at? Was it Thailand?
Yeah.
Or Philippines?
I was both of them.
One of the kids walked up to me and said, "Can I touch your skin? Like, I want like black. Can I touch your skin? Like, it's really real. I've never seen a black person in
that
person.
Ain't bother
Can
you?
I touch your skin?
Wow.
No, it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me at all.
Wow.
Because as a kid, like, he didn't come off like, oh, he said, yo, man, I've never met a black person in my life.
I'm not
touch
saying
your
it
skin.
will,
Like,
all
I see is black people on TV. It's real. Like, you really have black skin. Can I touch your skin?
Right. That's true. I heard that in the Asian.
You don't really have black skin.
I was in both of those countries, and I definitely experienced the same thing where they like run up to you and be like, Obama. Like, they just run up to you, or be like, Kobe, or LeBron. So it's just like that association of things that they see on social media or on TV. It's like, oh my God. And it's like, black folks, we just have this like cool thing where it's like, y'all are just cool. Y'all got swag. I want to be like that. So a lot of times, like, American, you know, culture, they really are looked at as the cool folks. So, and that's what I'm saying, like, just going into those.
Like, one of my teammates I played with for 7 years, he just popped in at the bottom. He know. We've been together 7 years.
Right.
Shout out, teammate.
He just said Rasheem the Dream. That's E-Nice.
Rasheem the Dream.
Shout
Okay.
out,
E-Nice. Hey, listen, man.
Right?
Yeah, that's definitely facts, though. I can definitely relate to you on that, man, of just, you know, being, you know, out there and traveling and doing that. And it's just like now, just where I'm at in my life, it's just like, I just low-key, like, just have this fascination with the world. And I, like, even as a child, like, as a young boy, like, I never really, like, grasped it until I went away to my first year of college in Florida. And then I was like, when I got on the plane, I just like, oh man, I want to, you know, I just want to, you know, keep doing this and seeing different things. And then, like I said, the first time when I went out the country was like 2000 and I want to say it was like 2005. You know what? The first time I went out the country was Canada. I went up to when I was in high school. That was the first time. But then 2017 is when I went out. We went to the Philippines and Hong Kong, and just that whole experience out there was just like, yo. And one thing that really humbled me too, because I know a lot of times, like in our culture in America, like, you know, like when we don't have like certain things, or like we ain't got our bread up or things like that, we tend to go into these phases of like being depressed and just being like reclusive, where we just kind of shut ourselves from the world. But like one thing I learned is like a lot of times, like if you don't realize that like you're poor, or you're like messed up, it's like that it don't bother you. And right. I seen this family out there. I used to always go out every morning and go like jogging around this park. And I seen this woman out there. It was like 4 kids, and they was like running around like naked, and they were just so happy. But it's like they lived in like this box, like it literally was like a cardboard box. But I just seen a joy where it's like they was just cool, and they was. But it's like, bro, it's like you like messed up. Like in our eyes, we would look at that, but just that mentality where, and they would speak like good morning, hi, and like it just hit me where it's like, damn, like somebody to be in that position really just has that. You know, they have that happiness and that peace where a lot of times, you know, you'll see somebody like that here in America, and it's just like, damn, and they have attitude, or it's like if you don't give them some money, or like they fuck you.
Well,
like
the old saying, more money, more problems.
And that's crazy.
But that's because that's because overseas they appreciate the small. They appreciate the small
things, right?
And that's what
I'm small. Like they could take a soccer ball and go outside and be outside all goddamn day with that one ball and 2 friends. And 2 friends, that's it. Ain't no complaining. They gonna drink water and kick that ball all day.
But that's
long.
how we was as kids. Remember how we was as kids. Mm-hmm. As kids, you didn't care about not having the nicest shoes and nicest clothes.
I think crack in our
community.
communities.
You didn't care about that.
Up.
You wanted to go outside and play.
I'm blaming it on crack. Crack messed up our communities. I mean, I can recall doing that. I can recall putting on the fire hydrant and being out there all day long playing in the water with the hose. Crack just really messed us up, and we just need. Why you laughing? I'm serious. Yeah. It messed our communities up, man. Seriously.
No, it did.
It messed us up. It's like we gave birth to a disease. Seriously, because our communities are done. And
crack was put in our communities.
No, it was put in our, but it messed our community up.
It did.
It didn't affect. It didn't affect people, other cultures, the way it affected our culture based off of our DNA and who we are. Culture. But what I'm saying is, like one of the things he said, when he moved to Miami, he invited his daughter to come. Why do you think she refused to leave her situation? Why do you think they won't get out? Because, I mean, the earth is spacious. They can leave. And I'm speaking from experience myself. I done gave olive branches to some of my family to get up out of there.
No, but, you know, people stuck in their ways. People so Philly. Like, that's just like, I got like, all right, prime example. I had teammates that said, they would love to visit America, but they would never want to live here. Mm-hmm. And I told them, I said, I feel you. I feel you. But you got people that have been in Philly their whole life. Mm-hmm. So when they travel outside, all they looking at is the fun part. Like, oh, damn, I'm going to Miami, I'm going to L.A. to have fun, but I want to go back home.
That's true.
Like, they're not looking at like the bigger picture. Like, damn, I think I can see myself living here. No, I'm trying to go back to L.A., bro. Shit was towers popping. Mm-hmm. You know, we got there. You know, they trying to go out there, but they're not looking at the bigger picture. Like I said, my daughter, her friends up there, her mom up there, her sisters up there, her brothers up there, her aunts up there. Only thing down here is her dad. Mm. So you look at it like, I mean, and I thought about it. So in her mind, she probably like, well, my support system, all I have is my dad. You know what I'm saying? And it's touch and go with him because he might end up going back overseas. And then now I'm down here by myself. So I get it, but you know, just to you know, just look around. Like it's bigger right now. It's bigger than Philly.
Right.
Like I get a dreadful feeling when I'm in the air. When we descending and the plane about to land. I just feel bad. Like, oh my god. Like it's just terrible. I just feel bad.
Yo, that's bad, bro. Like, oh my god. I love it and hate it at the same time.
That's how I be.
I can't. I love New York, and you know, I don't think it's anywhere better than New York. But like you said, as soon as the damn plane lands, it seems like the sun goes away.
Like I'm happy going,
the clouds come,
down, it's like,
and it's just a whole feeling the whole time I'm in New York of just like it's bad.
Is it fair to say maybe you feel like that feeling is a sense of feeling powerless? Because
no, it's a feeling of I feel the energy of my city. my city is a negative energy having city.
And I felt like that about my city. But one of the reasons why I left is because I felt powerless. It's like, what can you do to contribute to try to help change it? But because their mentality, you're stuck in it too. You got to disassociate yourself to come up with a plan. That's why this platform was created, you know, so we can have healthy conversations to see how can we unite to change the narrative of how we communicate with our children, how we can go back and try to help plant seeds that eventually will grow and start changing. But some people feel like it's hopeless to do so.
I want to piggyback to the question
because of the crab in the barrel.
Yeah,
crab in the barrel city. Like, instead of them saying like even kids like they ask like, oh damn, how he get a D1 scholarship to Kansas State? He ain't that good. Ain't about how.
He got it.
Why are you saying how did he get it? He fucking earned it,
bro. Like I say that.
Earned it.
Yo, listen, like a lot of people, like they be saying that about about Kyle. Like Kyle making it to the league and making it as far as he did and being an NBA superstar now. Like and G, like that's the homie. But I feel like one thing that really like pushed him, even though it's a lot of people that's way more talented than him, but the thing is his work ethic was crazy.
And that matters
and that's really like a key thing. Where like a lot of times people, they mentality, man, I'm way better than him. Like I'll cross that. It's the work ethic
beats talent when talent
doesn't work hard. Exactly, bro. So I feel like a lot of times, man, like, you know, like you said, it's that crabs in the barrel mentality, and that's what kept a lot of people down, man. And like, bro, like I hold her, I overstand you, man.
But we need
so how do we? But my point was how
do we change that?
Exactly. Do we give up and say and just hope for the better, or do we actually put in the work to create platforms to create what we're trying to do with that? Our 2022 Coming Thug Need Hugs campaign that we trying to unify with you know, other people from the city of Philadelphia to actually see if we can just try to create platforms. I don't know if you watched the video that the brothers did a couple weeks ago, but one of the things Kevin touched on that I thought was real powerful was that as black men or black boys, that they are hurt. Like they can't express that they are hurt. Their emotions of feeling hurt without losing their manhood. So they transfer that energy into something a little dangerous. They anger.
Exactly, but you know, it starts with parents, because parents always tell their sons, stop being a pussy, stop crying, stop doing it. Like let the kids show emotion. Like if he hurt, he hurt. He's not soft because he hurt. We talked about
last week.
Like that's the stigma. Like you're not allowed to show emotion because you're a man. Like, oh boy. Like, no, this shit hurt. I'm gonna cry. It hurts.
Thank you. Right. Thank you.
My dad
that nigga really from Philly, dog. He be snapping.
I wanted my dad to come. My dad, I'm gonna cry. My dad ain't come. It hurts. Oh, stop crying. Be a man.
See?
Come on, man.
Say that again. You were crying. He left you on the step. See, that's what we were talking about last week. There's no such thing. He's a child. Nurture that pain. Nurture it.
I've been left on the step a few times.
Like I said, the mom, stop being a little punk. I ain't raising no punk. You ain't doing that. Like, it ain't about being a punk.
It's misguided help. That's what it is. It's misguided. They think they're helping, but it really is not.
So do you think that we're worth trying to save our youth, if not even save it, at least plant into seed, so that we can start doing things to show and demonstrate exactly some of the things that you actually said with family and how to show support in little situations, as opposed to showing support when someone come home from jail. And I'm not saying don't show support, because I truly believe they need to be supported, especially if they're changed, but just actually start appreciating the little things that our children do and try to communicate things better, so that they're not suppressing their emotions.
One thing I can say that will actually help these kids is change their environment. Changing their environment, taking them out the hood to let them see something different. I think cause a lot of the kids ain't leaving the hood. They're not leaving. Right. They're not leaving Upper Darby. They going as far as Upper Darby, and that's it. I think we take them outside. You know, show them what's different, what's something different out here. Like, you can experience this also.
But you gotta convince them
I think that'll start.
Well, I want to do that in the nonprofit. I actually wanted to actually take them state by state and actually tour in the states and give them that education. But you got to get permission from the parents, and that becomes a problem.
But it comes back to the question you asked a minute ago, and I wanted to touch on that, is why they're not leaving Philly. You can do all these programs for these kids, but you have to not all the time. It's about you have to make them want to go. The problem is, the number one problem with humans, we rely too much on comfortability. as humans, instead of leaving the storm, we'll seek shelter in it. And that has always been our number one downfall. That will forever be our downfall. We will seek shelter in the storm versus leaving the storm. That's always our downfall. So some of us have the ability to leave Philly. They won't because that's all they know. And they found comfortability in the chaos. Yep. They learned how to navigate the chaos versus leaving the chaos.
And that's what I was about to say earlier.
That's hurtful.
What I was about to say earlier is I used to leave. I always wore jewelry. I used to leave my projects, right, and be outside where it's safer. My projects was one of the worst projects in New York City. It's the biggest projects. I used to leave my projects.
Bronx River, was it?
It was Edenwald. By the time Bronx River ain't had shit on us. By the time I got back to my I remember walking into my projects and feeling better. But our precinct had the highest murder rate. So, but I feel comfortable because I know who's doing the shooting. I know why. You know what I'm saying? When they shoot, I don't duck. I don't feel harm. So I feel the best thing. Real quick, I feel the best way to fix your situation. It's cool to take them out of it, but you gotta make it better. Because you're gonna take those kids out, and then more kids are gonna grow up there. So you didn't fix the problem. Fixing the problem to me is what the biggest problem is creating jobs there.
That's what I was saying. Changing that to create platform for us to unite and hold people accountable in the city that say that they are there to make that situation better, but they're taking state funds and doing other things with it. How do we hold our people accountable? And that's all who is the influence to these people in the community. Like, who are the role models? They're really not the teachers, the fire departments. It's not. It's our celebrities. It's our athletes. It's our entrepreneurs. These are the role models to these children.
Those are who should be the role models.
See, they're role models, but they're not.
That's why I said they should be.
Exactly. So the athletes, the artists, they are the role models, but they're not because we see them, we don't touch them.
Which is true.
The drug dealer, we touch him.
Right.
We see the drug, we touch the drug, we see it, we hang out with him. What's up, young boy? So if your father now speaking as a young man, if your father's not there at all, and so as a young man, you looking for that male guidance, but your father is absent. You got your mama, but this at the center is the male guidance. So when you go outside on the block, you're hanging with your friends, you're not looking for this drug dealer, but he's looking for you. Hey, come here, young boy. What's some money in your pocket? What's going on? How you feeling today?
You know another thing is, though?
And that's powerful. He entices you.
One last thing I'm gonna say on that is, you know what it is, though? A lot of it comes from this. Is what the parents allow the kids to see.
Yeah, most definitely.
So if your mom, a young boy 6, 7 years old, she fucking with a nigga, who get money. He come in the crib with guns and shit. Young boy looking like, he got a nice car. And who that mommy? Oh, that's my friend. He come through every now and then, drop a check off, bust his mom. He see that like, damn, I'm trying to be like him. Like your mom letting you see this type shit. So, and their mind is registering like.
The son become like that, and the daughter grow up to date the same kind of nigga.
Yep.
That's really what happens.
Smart behavior, man. Yeah, that's old facts, bro.
That was a reality.
That was some. That deserves some bombs, man. You gotta get that brother.
You just
some
made
bombs,
me emotional
man.
with that one.
Yo,
that was emotional. That's emotional. That's emotional.
I can't hear you. It's choppy.
That's because he just gave you a shout out because
you start dropping the bombs.
You start dropping the bars. That was emotional.
Flex bombs.
Yeah, that was emotional. That was real, but it was emotional. It actually hurt because that's a reality.
It is.
Still can't hear?
It's a reality.
You can't hear?
Oh, you just pause.
Wait, pause. Well, we're going to wrap it up and give him a shout out and stuff anyway.
Yeah, because
that was hurtful, man.
It's about to cut off in a couple minutes, like 6 minutes.
That's hurtful. Did he bar out?
It's reality.
Did it come back on? He probably got to reset it like he did before too.
Let me see.
Who said something? That's hurtful.
Is this phone check? Oh yeah, we lost.
That was on him.
Damn, yeah. So we about to get off. We're gonna call him back. So
real
y'all
quick,
come back through and.
You cut him off while you was talking to him.
Right.
Oh damn.
You can't call him while you're already on it. You can't just call him while you're on it.
Let me see. I don't think. No, you can't do it. I would have to get off the live. And
damn, that was hurtful. That was hurtful. Because it's like, I think during this last 45 minutes of discussing that between all of you guys, y'all pointed out different problems of how we need to recorrect ourselves that is going on in the community that is going to require a lot of work. A lot of work.
Yeah, I'm saving it now.
That's hurtful.
It's reality.
It's hurtful.
Yeah,
but I think he just ended it with the most powerful is the dude that the mom allowed to come in the house and actually bring the guns in. Then you show him they bust and then they leave and then the kid believes that's okay. That is
and it's crazy because that's who they have access to, like he said. And the thing is you know, they look toward the athletes, but like him, what's the first thing you ask him? How'd you get out? You tell everybody that's an aspiration,
right?
To get out.
Right.
Niggas is trying to leave. Right. Nobody's trying to fix it, and that's not their fault because as they grew up, other niggas was leaving. Now they trying to do what the other niggas was doing.
Right.
The thing is,
but
if you get more,
it doesn't fix it.
More
it
of those
just
people
more kids want to grow up
come back and help what you helping with. If they see more people involved like that,
that's what we try to create.
It'll make them want to help build the city back up.
And that's what we're creating. So if we set the example to do that, and then we can actually team up with other cities to do that, we can kind of change that narrative to fundraise for good reasons to support these women and children, and just be real with them and have real conversations. You know what I mean? Let them see what's important, and that should be the welfare
that money
of the children.
Go to the right place.
Yeah, but see, and that's the reason why we're going to put it in the hands of people we trust to make those changes, because we got to do something. I mean, it's ridiculous right now. And it seems like every city has its turn, because I remember Chicago was off the hook ridiculously.
But it comes back to what Richmond said. You got to change the area, not just...
No, I agree exactly what Richmond
more kids
said.
growing up. That's all he said. You got to change the area. You have to get to the core.
Right.
Yo, Feast, if you can request a live.
Right. No, you 100% right with that one. It just hurt. It's hurt because it's a reality. If I think back and looking around at the girls I came up with and all that, just looking around, it's like, wow, they did used to do that. And the sad part is I think the women went for it because they felt protected.
Of course.
They knew nobody knew not to mess with them. They felt protected.
Got the power,
But it's about what are you teaching your kid? Like I said, because
they're not thinking about it. They're trying to survive.
I understand. I'm not arguing. I'm not making them villains. I'm just saying how it's all connected, the chain reaction. If a little boy subconsciously sees his mother's teaching that it's okay for a man to come through, bust her down, give a couple dollars, say what's up to the kids, and then leave. He wants to think that's how he treat women.
Of course.
That's how his mom allowed a man to treat her.
I agree.
And then the daughter won't think that's the kind of man I want. Son, that's the kind of man I want to be, and the daughter, that's the kind of man I want.
Yeah, can you hear?
The cycle continues.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we get lost in the type of things that's out there because we get lost and with not growing up too much, knowing about our history. And I'll say that from one of my friends, haven't seen him in a very long time, but he would start off as my mechanic. And I mean, and you know who I'm talking about. But he told me, because I asked him one day, how you get in the cars? And he was like, oh, I used to do that. What's it called when you steal the cars and take them to the chop shop? And
steal cars, take them to the chop shop.
Racketeering or something.
Oh, I don't know the legal term. You said it right, though. You used to take cars and take them to the chop shop.
Right, so he used to do that. And I was like, oh, yeah, he said, I used to do that. And he said, it wasn't until I went to jail. I met this old head Muslim boy, and that's how I became a 5%er. You know, he from New York. He went through this whole spill, but he said before then, you know, I didn't know who my dad was. I'm assuming he was a white boy because my mother was a prostitute, right? And I was like a prostitute. He said, yeah, my sister and them father was Jamaican, and they was into trafficking and all this other stuff. So, you know, that caught my ear like, wait, they was in a what? What key? Like, oh, yeah, drugs, trafficking. I used to be a part of it. And he got out of it, and I was like, wow, how did you do that? He said, I never, his heart, you know, always, it was for good money, right, while he was getting high, but then when he started going to conscious, you know, he stopped. But what was funny to me is, I said, well, how can you do that without having a conscience? He said, you forget, you know, I became bitter because my mother was a prostitute, he said, and she was homeless on the street half of the time. He said, when I grew up to be a man, I was thinking, damn, my mom's stuff must be trash. She was a it's not even funny, but this is what he said.
That's crazy.
He said, my mom stuff must have been trash because niggas give me money, we still on the street. He was like, and it was funny, he said, because nobody stopped and they would see my mom with all these kids on the street. He said, and people would drop $1 or a diamond, but nobody said, man, let me get these babies and take them out of the situation. He said, so when I got up, I ain't care about nobody's feelings. Ain't nobody care about me. I mean, he had me boo-hoo crying. I was sitting up there like, you know, shoot, I forgot that prostitutes have kids. You know what I mean? We forget about a whole different group of people that's out there. And I'm like, prostitutes never been in my immediate circle, so I'm not even thinking about, you know, their children or what's going on. And he was like, man, horrible. I was raised on the street. I was raised homeless. I had to do whatever I wanted to do.
If they paying
so,
for it.
Well, she had a pimp, so she was forced to do it.
She wasn't valuable.
Right.
I'm not wife in that.
Right. So at the end of the day, my point is the people that turn around with this mentality to lose their consciousness based off of no one actually coming up and say, well, miss, or negotiating with her while you in this, do one better for your children and turn your children over to do something different. These children out here terrorizing people with no conscience behind what they're doing based off of the fact that no one's extended an olive branch. And I get it because it's a lot of work. Children are a lot of work, period. So that's where I'm coming from, and how can we do things differently to set up platforms and groups that will actually nurture and cater to these children / adults. That's what it seems like they are.
Yeah, you got a long way to go for that.
I know, but
that's gonna be like the Sixers, like y'all trusting the process. It's gonna take about some years.
But it gotta be done.
But we gotta start planting the seed. We gotta start somewhere. What are we gonna do? Give up on our own children?
Right. Give up on ourselves? Because I always tell people, it's like you can cry and say, you can say I'm tired. It's too much work.
But then again, like I said, you got the people in the city scared. The people in the city are scared to approach to you.
Right.
Like I said, you don't know if you won't get a handshake or a gunshot. Like you might tell a kid, "Hey kid, pull your pants up." What you mean?
But you can't let fear stop, because if you let fear continue to stop you, it's only gonna get worse.
Fear gonna stop me every day. I'm not getting shot by telling the kid to pull up his pants.
Well, yeah, don't tell him to pull up. And that's what I mean by changing the conversation. Don't even focus on the pants being down. That's the least of the concern. The concern should be to get to the root of the problem, where the hurt or the disconnect is. But I'm saying just by offering great gestures, or you know what I mean,
or by just changing your approach. It's simple, okay? Because I know, because I'm still young. These niggas, they want to be hard. I'm a man. Okay, so your mom tell you. You know what pulling on your pants came from? You know what that means?
But no, I don't even think having those conversations are helpful.
Alone might say,
no, not necessarily.
I ain't gay.
But no, not necessarily. I don't even think those conversations need to take place. I think bonding need to take place with just good character being attributed.
Like you said, it's a way to approach it. Like, so if I see a kid with his pants down a bunch of women, I'm like, hey man, listen, you got them joints, them sneaks, all right, bro. Like them jeans, you got a nice little drip, but look at drink those women around. Then you might say, all right, my bad, oh yeah, you got it, or I ain't got no belt, my bad, or something like that. Like, you change your approach because you stoop down to what they want to hear.
Let me tell you exercise.
Your drip fire, kid.
Right.
Like,
listen,
come on, like,
you gotta speak that language. Meet them where they at.
Let me tell you an exercise that I did three, almost probably 4 years ago in Philly when I came up there visiting. That's when I first seen the gentrification and everything else, and I was like, these streets is crazy. I mean, it was ridiculous what I seen out there, or especially around Point Breeze area. It was horrible. So I went to the library, literally, and I printed out and I videoed it. Well, the thugs didn't let me video it, but I actually printed out all of these pictures, right? And I stapled it with the staples and got them to turn it into a little pamphlet, right? And I jumped out the car on some brothers on the corner. They was in their bag with the dice and stuff, and they was like, oh, it sounds like them sisters going on. And I was like, can I ask y'all a question? What do y'all think about this? And I passed it to them. So they was smoking their little weed and all that stuff and flipping through it over there, and all of a sudden the conversation, this is fucked up. Why you showing me this shit? And no, this real over there. And, right, because I was like, and they was like, yo, turn that camera off, to my sister. And I was like, I want to honestly get to, how do you feel about this? And all of a sudden, the blunts went down and shit got real conversation. This is some fucked up what they did. And I took out the worst slave pictures I can find. I ain't gonna lie. Hangings everywhere. I wanted to play on their emotions. What do you think about this? And the whole conversation struck out of that. I said, if I come back with a solution, would y'all help? What are y'all doing? Y'all in the street? Yeah, we in the street. That's all we know. Come back and know what you got on the table. What you got on the table. I mean, we had a thorough conversation. And that conversation educated me enough to say that they don't really want to be out there. They're doing what they got to do to survive.
Yeah,
and it was a bunch of them out there.
Nobody wants
a bunch.
To be.
And from that, I went back to say, to try to wreck my brain to see if I can set up other platforms and avenues to see how we can actually, just assist with something, to do something. Because a lot of them are hurt. I mean, literally hurt. When you hear, I went into school in Orton Reeves, me and my sister in Orton Reeves, and we sat with the children, the girls, the conversation, we do have that on video. The girls, when they went to moms, they expressed how their moms was. Man, we barely see her. She at work. It's like she don't care. She go in the room, close the door. And I can relate. Dads, they was like, man, dads is liar. They don't show up. They have us sitting outside all day long. I get in trouble. I be bored. I be this. The one girl got holes in her sneaker and X, Y, and Z. But the funny part is, they had them still in this punishment room because they telling them it's no excuse because we have clothes here. A whole shout out to Ishmael for his heart for collecting clothes and sneakers. But we had to tell him side by side, we understand what you're doing, but who wants to go to the counselor's office to get sneakers and shoes and go back to class where everybody know you got your stuff out of the counselor's office? That's embarrassing. Yeah. So you're trying to help, but is that really helping? No. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So a lot of times they didn't talk, they were just listening, and eventually they start opening up. Mm-hmm. You understand? So I'm just trying to see how we can come together with people who do have a bigger platform, can actually create conversation that actually will play on the emotions, because we have to play on the emotions to get to the root of what their problem is, to see how we can help, because there's no trust there. They don't trust us, they can't trust their parents.
I got an idea.
What?
You could do like a big brother, big sister program with celebrities though. So some of these kids,
the gentleman issue.
Because what happens is some of these kids, if they could touch a celebrity
and get a hug, so we can make that a part of our Thug Need Hug campaign,
and have
with celebrities
them actually speak to the celebrity. And look, sometimes you could reach out to me if you need to talk about something. That would make me feel like how the drug dealer made me feel.
That can be a part of the Thug Need Hug campaign.
How he made me feel. He made me feel important to a nigga that the whole practice is looking up to, and he making me feel important. I feel like if some celebrities could do that, because I would definitely do it. I'll give them my number and all that. They could call me.
I appreciate
you know what I'm saying?
That just made me emotional.
Yeah,
shout out. Give yourself a shout out
to Richmo, man. Yeah. Bombs for Richmo, man. Richmo for president.
I really feel like that would change things,
well, just to bring you up to par, Rashid, on the Thug Need Hug campaign, which was mentioned by one of our co-hosts that ain't here today, we actually have a challenge that we're going to put out in the week, where we're giving them a budget, and we're going out there just trying to make people's lives better by just, making people believe there's good people in the world. So I don't care if you're standing behind somebody in the market, contribute whatever you have towards they bill, buy somebody a cup of coffee, pay for their coffee. Just put good energy and good love out there in the world. Hopefully they'll go out, the brothers, our segment of Gentleman-ish, in some of these neighborhoods, the kids be selling waters along the highway and just buying up the case, doing things that just to make them feel good, to try to put that good energy out there. And we just titled it Thugs Need Hugs. Well, they titled it Thugs Need Hugs Campaign. So what we set out to do is get with other podcast owners in Philadelphia, especially probably Wallow and them, and see how we can actually, in our city as well, start there and maybe just make that, transformation in other cities, to just show some love, change some energy, some good energy out there with no strings attached. And I like what Richmo just actually brought to the table. Maybe getting some influencers out there, maybe having a conversation with these children to see a different avenue that they can go down. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I think a good way to avoid having a nigga that's gonna pull a gun out on you because you're trying to approach him and be good is to have them come somewhere. So if they make the first step to come to the center, then that means it's on their mind to
so we can do like a pop-up shop in certain areas.
When their friends come back to the crib and tell them, yo, like, for lack of a different person, but, yo, I met Will Smith today, yo, he gave me his number. Mm-hmm. Yo, they're going to do it again next month. You could go down there and meet this basketball player, this football player. They giving out their real numbers, bro. I called him right there. He said I could call him whenever I, want to talk and I have a problem or something. They give a little Google Voice number, answer every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Something. They ain't got to, like,
or that can be a part of our Icons Connect project that we actually have, where it's on a social media platform where they'll be able to just vent, and it's all exclusive, like a chat room.
If you could talk to somebody that you look up to that made it from where you from.
That made it from where you
from. That would make the world
a
difference for a lot of people.
Right.
I just
somebody that lived that grew up like you.
Right, exactly.
To show you that there's hope.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, because essentially, that's what we all really thrive off of, is having, like, mentors and people like that who we, in places where we aspire to go, just, dang, I wish I could just talk to that person and really just kind of see what was their thought process when they was here, and, like, what helped them pivot and get to this point. Like, you know what I mean? Just having that understanding, like you said earlier, like, their guidance. And a lot of that stuff was just stripped away, you know what I'm saying, like, back home, man. Like, and it really, like, messed me up when I found out, like, when all them schools closed back in Philly. Like, that was just something, man. But just to, to do that, because essentially you think, like, man, I got to go to school. But a lot of times, like, they didn't have nowhere to go. Like, yeah, man.
I think that's dope. Rashid, what's the strongest force in the world to you? Strongest energy. Most powerful energy.
No, I'll say the mind.
The mind? Intelligence.
The mind.
The mind?
Yeah, if you ain't got no thought process, you're just gonna be all over the place.
Facts.
It's just gonna be all over. I think that's it. Like you said, but that goes back to manifestation. Like you manifest, in your mind. You can, you ain't got if you just using other shit than your mind, you're gonna be in fucked up situations.
Mm-hmm.
Like people that shoot and all that shit, like they ain't using their head. They just out here acting reckless. They ain't using their brain.
Emotion.
Now, when they get locked up, now they want. Oh man, I could have. Now you want to use your mind. Like now you want to think about what you done. Now you got 15 to 30. You got a lot of time to think now, good brother.
He got 15 to 30.
Got that 15, 30 and 1.
And they trying them as adults.
And you ain't in there with no kids either. You in there with some grown ass men.
Yes, they trying them as adults. Yes. And see, I wanted to ask all of you guys that problem, but what he just said, I think that's what bothers me the most. And I try to detach from the emotion, because being a female, especially a melanated female, the men, of course, of my culture, of my race, are the backbone to the women. So with that, statistic-wise, us having 1.3 missing African-American males from our communities is bad. And that's due to drugs, to jail, to homosexuality, to murder. 1.3. You know what I mean? Grandparents in our community is extinct. It's like dinosaurs. So that is hurtful to, right, exactly. So just doing those statistics is hurtful, especially as a woman, but it's hurtful as a mother, because our black men, and I'm just saying, I can speak for myself. I mean, it's 10 of us from my mother, and then, of course, my dad had a bunch more. But just based off of my own statistics in our own household, how many of my brothers went to jail? How many? I had a brother like you that was getting drafted overseas and got knocked right before he went. 2 years, they let him take his baby mom and everything. He was a beast in Pennsylvania. I mean, you can look him up and Google him. Beast. Got caught up, went away for 13 years. 13. So the statistics was right in my household. That's how I know they're the truth. So it's hurtful, because especially if you're a black woman, the men of your family are the protectors, right? They're the providers. So that's hurtful as a woman to realize that in your race is 1.3 missing.
I think, honestly, I think I did a good job at that.
Oh, you did an excellent job at that.
No, I didn't like smoking weed. I don't smoke weed, so I didn't hang with my boys that smoke. I didn't like fucking at the time. I didn't like drinking. I wasn't attracted to it. I didn't like. I wasn't into selling crack. I wasn't into shooting dice. I wasn't into all that stuff. So I think that's what helped me, because I wasn't never into it. So like, if I went home from college like on a weekend or something, and like my old heads would see, they be like, or the niggas that's older on that block be like, yo, see, bro, now you know you ain't supposed to be out here, bro. Say what's up to everybody. Go take your ass to the gym or something. Man, this ain't for you. And they knew it, because it wasn't my thing. Like, niggas like, yo, we about to go down 72nd. All right, y'all got it. I'm about to go up Simons, or I'm about to go up McCluskey or something. I ain't about to go.
Simons, I remember Simons.
I just want to say I played pop for 160 West Oak Lane Wildcat. Let's go.
Simons is my neighborhood. That's my course.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. You right the street.
Beverly Road.
I was all up. I stayed up Simons.
Right. Wow. Yeah. So that part right there is the reason why I personally go so hard, you know what I mean, for my men and my own culture, and that's nothing to do with everybody else's culture, because I love culture, all things culture. But just looking at the statistics, it has to penetrate with us, and that's why I asked that question: what is the most powerful energy there is to you? Because one of those energies is our mind. I personally believe it's the heart as well, because if your heart is disconnected from your brother or your sister, you can't feel what you need to feel. You understand what I'm saying? You can't feel. We're not relating. We're not showing empathy to someone else's situation. That's just like the analogy I gave earlier. If you hit your daggone knee, your whole body's going to respond because you hit your knee. You're like, it's moving, but you didn't hit that. So if you in my circle and you in pain and I don't feel that, what does that say about me?
That's also like a stranger, but that's also like a stranger that don't know you from a can of paint. That's just telling you some knowledge shit. So his heart is not into it. He's just telling you, what's in his mind, trying to stick it in yours.
And, So I agree. And I learned that years ago at a lecture that I was at, that they actually said that, I think it was Mother Teresa, Tony Robbins kept trying to impress her because he had her on the show, asking her, what can I do for you? And she kept telling him, there's nothing you can do for me. And he kept pressing her. And she asked him, you want to do something for me? On your way home, go out in the street and convince someone that they're not alone. And he didn't get it for years later. He said he went out there and he fed a few people and it made him feel good, but that's not what she meant. When you got to convince someone that you care, that's a total different emotion. Right. You have to convince them. That's a total different energy there. And that's the energy I feel like we're missing. We're not convincing these children or convincing people that we genuinely care. And it takes work because you get a whole lot of attitude. You're dealing with and ungratefulness.
You're dealing with people who don't feel like anyone loves them, sometimes including their parents.
Right.
When you got, mommy and daddy issues, it's hard to believe that someone else could love me if my own mother doesn't.
Right.
Or if my mother doesn't show it, or wherever the kid, or she's not even here. So that first love I was supposed to have ain't there. Right. How do I even know what love is? Right. I might think you up to something.
Right. And that's why I feel like we have to teach more with the emotion, because there's not one time I have always been in agreement with my mother or anybody with their parents or anything. However, or anybody. But I have never walked away saying, I just cussed that bitch out. Like, I just told her. My soul told me, you should have handled that differently, or you should have. It was a war within. Right. And I don't think we paid too much attention. We sugarcoated by probably going to get a drink, or somebody going, I don't smoke, but somebody going to smoke. But how to be in touch with those feelings so that we can identify them and come back and put it on the table. And I'm saying we have to do it, of course, as adults in order to pass it down to our children, because if we don't have the tools, our children are not going to learn it. So I get that, because as what he just said, that touched me all the way to the heart, because I can remember, going to school and having girlfriends who had the drug dealer boyfriends and they come there and do guns like that. I can remember some in my own family. So him saying that, like, damn, the kid is watching all of that.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yo,
You're literally producing the next gangster.
We got She's Not Having It just made a statement, said, I was a counselor at a job court. Yo, be surprised how many children grow up in a household where the parents and caretakers never tell them they love them. Damn. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, some of them people are just taking a check.
Yeah,
and, and some of them parents, like you said, they're not there. That's why they in job corps.
Right.
You know what I mean? Trying to, get their life together.
Right. Well, Rashid, it was a pleasure. We appreciate you and all of your wisdom and all of your advice. You had dropped some jewels today.
Sure, man. Yo.
You had made my heart emotional.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Emotional.
For
however, we truly want to congratulate you for, making it out first and foremost, and for you actually being a leader. Just within your own core to who you are, with staying true, with escaping maybe the peer pressure of getting high, different things for different people, but of getting high and just setting that example to do something better with your life, and hopefully to come back, in order to come back and actually be able to make a change and make a difference with your own organization that you're getting ready to start. So shout out to you. That takes strength. That takes strength.
Yeah, man. So you already know, man. Any way we can support, let us know, man, for sure.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all. Anytime y'all need me on the show for a spicier topic, just let me know. I thought we was gonna get. Listen, hey Chase, I thought it was gonna get spicy.
Hey,
like,
what? Not
we
today.
can love life. Like, how many? I was in my head like, all right, if they ask me this, I'm gonna say this.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know who's watching, but they know.
No.
So, my last question was: there 60 bras in those 60 countries, and you want spiciness? Was there 60?
Listen, we can say that for gentlemen-ish.
No.
I think it's best you bow out, brother. You might as well bow out right now.
I put it to you like this. I've been to 60 countries. Okay? I've been.
Well, he's doing something right. To been to 60 countries and he got one kid, he's doing something right.
You made it this far. Don't let them get you in trouble, brother.
Yeah. Tight.
You
made pull-out game is strong.
You made it this far through the interview.
They can't get me in no trouble.
Okay.
They can't get me in no trouble. I might want to get in a little bit of trouble now. I might want to do a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a dab would do,
Just a little bit. Ain't nothing to do too much.
Just a dab.
But no, man, I appreciate y'all. Y'all got a great podcast going on. And if I'm ever in town, I'll come in live. You know what I'm saying? But for sure, this is a very positive podcast. On another note, it's very good. It's very good to hear the insight and the importance and the feelings and the thoughts about how we can help this generation and the next. And I think as time progresses, this podcast will get a little bit bigger once they get a little bit more out there and you get more people on from different areas that everybody else into the same thing as what y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is a really good thing y'all got going on, and y'all got my support too. So just let me know.
That's love, bro. That's love, man. That's love.
Man. We appreciate you, man. Thank
you. And I just heard the fellas definitely said they was gonna have you back on their segment of gentlemen shit.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. It's always some gentlemen. Most definitely.
We gotta get you some merch.
And we can talk about them 60 countries on gentlemen. It's most definitely. I got some questions.
All he want to know is what the women look like.
Listen, I got some questions. Brother.
Oh, we don't throw it.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Did it. Yep, it did it again. I don't know why I keep doing this. Yeah, keep going on my beats.
They open?
Nah, they off, but my bad, broski.
Can you hear?
Can you hear?
No, y'all good. Yeah.
No, say that one more time.
I just ran with my grandma said I was an ugly method overseas. That's all.
She said the what?
My
grandma said I wasn't ugly.
You wasn't ugly.
Yeah.
That's the he ran with overseas.
That was his line.
Oh.
He ain't spitting game, he just scrimmaging.
Right.
Yeah, I know they love the brothers over
paper,
there.
Dog.
I know they love the
you tell me you gotta get stopped.
Cocoa melon.
They love the brothers over there. I know that.
Yes, they do.
I know they do.
He said yes, they do.
But I already know it.
What?
Y'all have a good night, man. Enjoy y'all Labor Day and the rest of the week.
Yeah, same to you, man.
Appreciate y'all.
I got you, bro. I'm gonna hit you up.
You be safe and enjoy yourself, bro.
All right,
all right, boy.
Much success.
That was awesome. That was dope.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, what's the sage advice of the day? I mean, that was powerful.
That was very powerful. My heart is definitely emotional.
Yes.
They touched on some emotional stuff. Yeah. I gotta detach from the emotion.
That was cool, man.
All right, let us know what that is real quick before this cuts off.
Go ahead. You want to give sage advice for me?
All right. Well, sage advice of the night. I think this is a contribute to the total topic of today. And I said earlier, don't let comfortability be your downfall. In order to truly get comfortable, you have to become uncomfortable. Make uncomfortability your best friend so that you can truly achieve what you want in life.
Well said.
Sage advice of the day.
Hey.
Well,
that's bars.
yeah, so I want to say thank you to everybody out there that joined and tuned in, and thank you to the co-hosts here, Rich Mo, Mr. Chase Cool.
Yes, sir. Shout out Rich Mo, Black Ink Radio, most definitely.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to, it's a breath of fresh air to talk to people, like-minded people.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the fam that we missed today.
Shout out Uncle MJ, Juicy Lips. We miss you, bro.
Yes, Tanisha.
Shout out to Tanisha, Lily,
everybody that's turning up for the holiday.
For sure, happy holidays. And definitely, man, y'all can follow us at Let's Talk About It Black Ink. And then the good brother Rasheem Feats 215. You know what I mean? Definitely stay in tune, man. And
tune in for next week.
We have back with another special
Billy
guest.
Lennox,
Oh my
Brother
God.
Andre, record Grammy Award producer.
Yeah, Grammy Award winning record producer. Yeah, we got some legends coming through.
Bless us with his energy next week.
Yes, sir.
So we out here, man.
We out here. Much love, y'all.
Y'all stay safe. God bless.
Definitely
love
be
y'all.
safe and enjoy yourself.
Holla.
Black Ink 125th, Brooklyn, Atlanta, Orlando, Indianapolis, Houston, and now